What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about Boots Ennis moving up to 154 and much more when we come right back. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about Boots Ennis moving up to 154 and much more when we come right back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and today is a beautiful day. Birds chirping outside, cicadas going crazy, smacking your car. Got people going crazy all like this, like, oh, the cicadas on me, you know. It's the year of the cicada, y'all. It's all good though. We're gonna get it bubbling here at Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. Yes, sir. And another thing, it's like mid 90s, y'all. So get you some AC, get you some water, vitamin water, some coconut water. Just get you some type of water. And quench your thirst. Yes. All right. So, now I had a kind of a busy weekend because I had family in town this weekend. So I wasn't able to really watch the boxing matches last night. So I'm not going to elaborate on that very much today because I didn't have a chance to, unfortunately, see last night's fights or whatever. But I do got some things I would like to cover today. And yo, what's up, Mike Ware? I appreciate your support. For real, man. You always show me support. And here at Ringwalk Boxing Podcast, we appreciate you, man, for sure. B-Bub, salute. Pork Chop, salute. Appreciate you. I see you guys watching on FB as well. If you're watching FB and you hear me right now, please come over to my YouTube channel because I really need my views on YouTube because on Facebook it doesn't really monetize or give me any type of credit. So I need you guys to please come over to YouTube. There's a pinned link in the comment on Facebook and it'll take you right over to YouTube. I appreciate the support, y'all, for sure. So yeah, we're gonna talk. You said it's kind of in and out, Mike Ware. Let me know if you can hear me now. Give me a thumbs up emoji if you can hear me better. If my thing is chopping up or whatever, or if it's going smooth. If it's going smooth, please give me a thumbs up. So okay, so everything better. That's what really matters. Shout outs to JC for sure. We got big JC in the house, the big engineer, holding it down here at Ringwalk at Ringwalk Boxing Podcast, y'all. And we really appreciate it. That we do. Like they always say, good deeds don't go unnoticed. All right. So uh Big Baby Miller is doing what he does. And I want to say he had a fight lined up with I'm trying to remember who he was supposed to fight, but that fight didn't take place through some type of situation. But like Big Baby Miller generally does, he's always going for the jugular. He knows how to build up his fight whenever he's going to fight somebody. Like back in the day when you had Big Baby Miller and Anthony Joshua, he knew how to build up that fight. Talk a lot of trash. He got that New York edge. I think he's from Brooklyn, New York. So he brings that type of swag or whatever. And he kind of almost like a bully to an extent when it comes to the boxing game. That's the feel I get from Big Baby Miller. But we saw what happened when he fought Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois pretty much dominated him, and he stopped him in the very last round. Then he had a couple other fights that were not as big of a name on his resume, but hopefully we see Big Baby Miller back in the ring shortly, so we can see if he can cash that check, because he be talking all that. He's talking like he's so game or whatever, but he might be the type of dude that just does a whole lot of woofing or whatever. But when he steps up to the big leagues in the heavyweight boxing division, it's not gonna get easier for sure, And he's not a guy that's really don't get me wrong, he's durable, he has a good chin, he's a big dude, but skill wise, he's not really that guy known for skill. He's not known for speed. He's had his run-ins with the PED accusations, performance enhancing drugs in the past. But hopefully that part of it is behind him now, and we'll see him doing his thing, or whatever, with these other opponents. Eventually I hope he does still get a fight with Anthony Joshua and Big Baby Miller. Or he runs it back with he probably won't get a Daniel Dubois match anytime soon, especially if Dubois beats Usyk in the next couple weeks. If Dubois can stop or beat Usyk and become undisputed, chances are that's a fight that Big Baby Miller will never get a chance, a shot at again. In my opinion. So that's pretty much what it is, y'all. Big Baby Miller is back taking aim at Deontay Wilder and different people in an interview recently, like he's known to do in the past. I would say that Big Baby Miller is probably one of the biggest trash talkers. After him, or maybe even neck and neck, you got Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte. He's another one that talks a lot of trash. Whenever they're building up a fight, they do a lot of trash talk for sure. But it helps promote the fight and everything like that, Promotion of a fight. You want to sell that fight, just like the fight coming up with Canelo and Bud Crawford. You know, if you saw the face off, you saw Canelo kind of shove Crawford or whatever. So things like that, man, it helps build up that fight or whatever. Because neither guy does a lot of trash talking. Like Bud is not a very big trash talker. Canelo will say a little bit, but he's not a well-known trash talker. Some people just don't have that personality. Everybody's not a Muhammad Ali. Everybody's like for instance, Evander Holyfield. He didn't do a whole lot of talking to build up his fights. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really a trash talker. But of course, Muhammad Ali was one of the most original trash talkers. Like I say, Big Baby Miller, it's a different level, but he's definitely a trash talker. Daniel Dubois, he's pretty laid back, but he's come out of his shell a lot more recently too. If you've been watching Daniel Dubois on different interviews, he's definitely had been a little more open than he has in the past. So yeah, Mike Ware, man, what's been going on with you, man? What has been going on in your world? And pardon me, y'all, if I have to do some like different shout outs on chat or whatever. I gotta reference my FB sometimes and see who's jumping in the chat. Shout outs to the 7 people on FB that like my post. Dominique, my Zone 15 homie, Brandon Davis, my dude from Camp Dennison in the house. Graham over in UK. Shout outs to Graham. Jared Anderson, Toledo, Ohio. Walter Davis, what's good, bro? Mike Ware, of course, you always here every week. And my cousin, B Bub, what's up, cuzzo? Make sure you please come over to YouTube, y'all, and please hit the thumbs up so I can get monetized and I can get credit for you hitting the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Nick, what's up? What's up, bro? What's going on, man? And Cam J, yes, sir. You already know. Yep. We back on live like we are every week, brother. So we on live as we speak right now. Now what do you feel, y'all? Or Mike Ware, what do you feel, man? About Jai Pataia, of course, he's a beast. We know he's a beast. Southpaw cruiserweight, hailing out of Australia. And what do you think about David Benavidez, who's only had like maybe 2 fights at 175 light heavyweight division? What do you feel if David Benavidez actually went up to cruiserweight to fight Jai Pataia? I mean, I'm just speaking hypothetically because I've seen a few different memes and, you know, and I think it was mentioned. I don't know if it was actually just something kind of like how right now Bud is going to fight Canelo. And Bud is like 3 divisions lighter than Canelo. Well, David Benavidez is a light heavyweight. So to move up to cruiserweight, he would go from I want to say light heavyweight right up to cruiserweight, because then after cruiserweight is bridgerweight, and then bridgerweight is heavyweight after that. So, it would all depend on the power, hypothetically speaking, if somebody like David Benavidez fought Pataia at cruiserweight. It would depend on the power of David Benavidez. I feel like he has decent power, but he punches and bunches. It's not like that one hit that'll make a person stand stock still right there in position that you get hit so hard you're like, oh, So I don't know. I mean, they have divisions for a reason, yes, but there are some exceptions to the rule. I feel like if we're going to talk about exceptions to the rule, I would definitely put Bud Crawford in that demographic. I feel like Bud Crawford is going to be the one to potentially beat Canelo, although he's coming up from 147 to 168 pounds. I just feel like Bud is a very special fighter. He has all the intangibles, the ring IQ, the ring journalship, the footwork, the speed, the angles, the switch hitting. He just has so many different all-around skills. He's all around better than Canelo. The only thing that Canelo has over him is probably his chin is very, very, very durable, and he has more power because he's a bigger, massive guy, as far as his body size. But other than that, as far as skill wise, Bud Crawford checks a lot more boxes than Canelo does. Canelo Alvarez does, So I want to know y'all opinions, y'all, in the chat. Will Bud Crawford shake up the boxing industry? And actually, will he stop Canelo, let alone win by decision? But will he actually stop Canelo? Because some people feel like Bud Crawford may stop Canelo. And that's a far stretch to a degree, because Canelo has never been dropped in his whole career. But, it's that old cliche. Sometimes things happen. It's the first time for everything. So maybe Bud Crawford has that recipe to be able to hurt Canelo and then capitalize on it. So it's going to be an interesting fight to see for sure. I'm just looking forward to it, y'all. And it's going to be in Las Vegas or whatnot. So they're going to be fighting over on the West Coast here in America. Okay, Mike, where you said that would be a good matchup, Miller versus Wilder. Yeah, man, especially with the personal beef they have, Mike Ware. The fact that it's been a back and forth with Wilder and Big Baby Miller. They've had like a personal back and forth, you know what I'm saying? More or less from the end of Big Baby Miller, saying a lot of different personal disrespectful things in regards to Wilder. So yeah, man, that fight could definitely get real, man, if they do fight. Mike, where you said Ja knocks out David Benavidez. David has a puncher's chance after round 10. I seen Ja Pataia gas. Okay. So that's a cool prediction, man. He could knock out David Benavidez, but it'd be something to see for sure. It'd be something to see. I don't think it wouldn't be in the best interest for David Benavidez to go straight into a fight with Ja Pataia. I feel like if he's going to fight him, He needs to fight a few more guys at 175 just to see how good he looks. Because if he fights the winner of Bivol versus Peterviev, and he's struggling, it might not be a good look to try to move up to cruiserweight if you're struggling in 175 right now. You know, he might be biting off more than he can chew if he can't convincingly beat Bivol or Peterviev, whoever the winner would be. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, y'all. Hey, what's up, Angelica? Good afternoon to you out in Arizona. Hopefully, you enjoyed that package that you got. Mike Ware, you said, I want Bud to win. It's not happening. Canelo went blow for blow with Triple G on fight. Hold on one second, Mike Ware. I'm trying to read your statement. But there's an emoji blocking it. Okay. You said you want Bud to win. It's not happening. Canelo went blow for blow with Triple G on fight night. Bud will have been inactive for a year. Canelo has no ring rust, and we know he's been carrying people. Okay, you make a good point, man. Yes. He has been carrying people like he did his last fight when he fought William Skull. He definitely was carrying him, in my strong opinion. He could have probably stopped him if he really wanted to. He just didn't press the action. And Canelo is a vet, man. Canelo Alvarez is a vet. And like I said, he has a very, very good chin. He has power. But even though Triple G went blow for blow with Canelo, I can't say Triple G is as skilled as Bud Crawford. More power? Yeah. For sure. But all around skill. Just think about skill for skill, everything the Bud does in that ring. I think that it's going to be a chess match. You know what I'm saying? I think that Canelo will have to cut off the ring. He's going to have to use a lot of energy. And he normally comes on stronger mid rounds to late rounds. Canelo starts to pick up his pace. I think Bud should act early, but not act so early to where he's being overzealous and he's trying to just unload the clip or whatever. He needs to actually methodically try to break down Canelo. And like I said, and you probably already know, Canelo has a very durable chin. So he needs to go to the body of Canelo as much as possible. Bud needs to zone in on the body of Canelo Alvarez from the beginning bell and get to his body as much as he can. Because anytime you go to the body, you can be taking a risk. But go to the body in a smart way and try to wear down Canelo from round 1 up until round 5, round 6. So when Canelo tries to turn up in the late rounds, his body is so badly, his body's so badly, hit or whatever, to where he's gassing out and losing steam. I think that Bud Crawford will have a different plan in motion. You said there's no chess match. You thought of every scenario not happening. I can't stand Canelo. All right, I hear you, Mike Ware, man. We will see, man. We will see, man. I just think that Bud is a pound for pound, talent. and that if it was anybody else we talked about, I'd be like, okay, you know what I mean? But Bud, he's like the creme de la creme, man. When it comes to boxing, he is that top dog in boxing. He wants the link. All right, Mike, hold on, JC. We'll get you a link here in a little bit. Angelica, you said, yes, I love the shirt. Thank you. Oh, you are very welcome. You are kindly welcome, for sure. I'm happy you like it. Yeah, man, because Canelo, he just, to me, I feel like we've seen the best of him. I feel like we've seen the worst case scenario of Canelo when he's not pushing the pace because he's picking these guys that he has to carry or whatever. So we don't really see him turn up. So that's the part of Canelo we can say, okay, we see a Canelo that's not doing a whole lot or whatever. But we've seen Canelo at his peak. We've seen Canelo at his peak. Triple G fights. The first two Triple G fights were peak Canelo. I don't see Canelo being any better right now as he was in his prime. He's on the back end of his career. So I feel like that's another advantage for Bud Crawford. And another thing, Bud Crawford hasn't got a lot of mileage on him. He hasn't been through a lot of different wars in that ring like Canelo has. Canelo had some wars with Triple G. Canelo had wars with a couple of other fighters or whatever. So, with Bud, I feel like he's a little more fresh. I think every little thing when it comes to Bud is going to be critical for him to be successful if he is to beat Canelo Alvarez. And like I said, if anybody could do it, I feel like Bud Crawford could do it just because he's a very technically sound boxer. He understands the game of boxing, all around the board, like the back of his hand. He knows boxing like I knew a lot of the highways on my day job. I do it so much. Traveling through the city of Cincinnati, through the states of Ohio, up in Michigan, and West Virginia, all these different states to where I started learning these different routes. And I could do a route one way and I could do it in reverse because I did it so many times. I feel like Bud Crawford is like that in boxing. It's like it's a certain it's drilled. It's like a natural drill. He's used to doing it time after time after time after time. And I feel like what he has is something very special. Because like I said, I feel like we've seen the best that Canelo's had to offer in the past. But I don't think we've seen the best that Bud Crawford has to present. I think we're going to see the best version of Bud against Canelo. I think he knows he has to step up. Not just a B plus or just an A minus. He's got to be at an A plus level. And he knows that fighting Canelo, it means everything. And he's not trying to lose. He's talked about it in interviews. Bud said, whatever it takes, I'm going to be the one taking all the belts. That's all me. They belong to me. I'm going to get respect put on my name, this, that, and the other. And I tend to believe him because I can see it in his body language. I can see it in his eyes that Bud Crawford honestly believes he's going to be the person to beat Canelo Alvarez. And by no means is it an easy feat, but In the same aspect, Bud Crawford is a special fighter. Well, you got the link there, Mike Ware, if you can hear me. The link is in the chat on YouTube, sir. Adrian Richard, please come over to YouTube, bro. I see your comments in the on FB, man. Please come over to YouTube. I appreciate all the love. FB is like about 10 or 11 likes, and I appreciate that. Okay, Mike Ware, give it 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right.
Oh, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's up? Nothing here. Chilling, drinking me a Michelob Ultra.
That's what's up.
Relaxing.
You knock
Okay,
the
no,
edge
you
off,
did bring up some
man.
good. You brought up some good points. I think that actually that will be a good comeback fight. Jarrell Miller versus Wilder. That actually will make some money.
Mm-hmm.
That would. I mean, that would be a good. That'd be a good turkey show. Or I know he's not with PBC no more, but that would. I think that would push numbers. But what else? And you're talking about Dubois versus Usyk
You
too.
Usyk 2.
For that fight, Dubois has a puncher's chance. That's it. Usyk, even though Usyk is pushing 37, 38, all this intimidation, nobody scares Usyk. Usyk beat every single belt that Usyk got. He he's from Ukraine and he went to Russia and hurt somebody. Nobody's gonna make Usyk scared. So that's some people you need to get that out your head. And Usyk has to make a point in this fight because I didn't think it was a low blow. I thought it was a stomach punch.
Right.
I
You
thought
did,
he got knocked out, and I was like,
yeah.
dang, they really gave him that. He got away with it.
Right.
I thought that was wrong. I'm like, yeah, Dubois should have got the knockout. I felt it, but then he went back and fought like a little punk after it.
Well,
So
I'll tell you
I don't want to
why.
hear nothing about. You know what? I don't want to hear nothing about. He was upset. He didn't get the knockdown. When you
That's
hear
what it
someone like
was.
it's hard to see him, it's like, oh, I got more for you. He just went there fighting like my little son when I yell at him about something. He runs off. I mean, he just fought like a little coward after that.
Well, I
If he
think he
wants to,
deflated. I think he
huh?
mentally was defeated when he didn't get the knockout. I think
I agree
Dubois.
with.
I think Dubois. He is very. He's not like the normal. How do I explain it? I think he's very sensitive, so he takes it like personal. Like oh man,
Yeah, I mean,
I
we
didn't
all
get that
take we
knockout,
all take
man.
stuff.
Uh, I'm done with this, and he just felt defeated.
I feel that, but if you were okay, let's say I'm from Ohio too. Let's say you was fight. What's that big? Let's say you was fighting at the Cincinnati. Was it Wildcat Stadium? And you had 40, 50, 60,000 people out there. Are you gonna really let someone embarrass you like that? Let's sit down and be realistic. Nobody. The way he went out was like a coward. You think somebody's gonna go in there in my backyard and make me look like that? Or no, it wasn't his backyard. Was that it? Where was it at? No, it wasn't in his backyard. Ain't nobody make me look dumb in front of millions of people worldwide. If I'm going out, I'm going out swinging. I'm not gonna get knocked down and just look down at the ground like that, like he did and cry. That's
Yeah.
basically what he did. Everybody's talking about this. Here's what I'm trying to tell. I do not like Canelo at all. Okay, I am not a Canelo fan. I wanted William Score to upset him. I have never liked Canelo, but we have to give credit when it's due. There, how can I say it? I literally think that we're seeing Canelo's getting to the end, but we're seeing him literally carry people right now. I mean, like when he knocked Jaime Munguia down, he like basically picked him up and went easy on him. Edgar Berlanga, Jermell Charlo shouldn't even fought him.
Right.
He shouldn't even fought him, but he should have. Jermell should have went there, knocked Tim Zoo out, and threw him off the map like he is right now because I can't stand him. Jermell should have knocked him out, and then went up to 160. That's what I think. He's not making 154 again. I don't think. If he makes
Right.
154, he's gonna be so drained. He'll left half his body in the gym. If I was Jermell, come back at a catch weight of 164, and then he's on PBC. He has two titles he could fight for. He could fight Isla Rondi Laura, and he could fight Carlos Adames. But I'm hearing through the grapevine, it's supposed to be Adames and Yanni back fighting. That'll be yeah. Whoever wins that'll have 3 belts. But middleweight is weak. But to get back to Canelo, I've played every scenario through my mind. There is no way Bud's not winning. I Bud does have skill, and everybody's like he has skill. He's not beating. If he can't, he doesn't hit hard enough to hurt Canelo. So Canelo's gonna walk right through him. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I understand that angle, that angle of the debate, but I'm seeing it from the fact that he's never fought the closest he's fought to Bud was years ago, and that was Floyd, and that's years ago. So I feel like, and I'm not saying
Uh,
Bud is just like Floyd, but a person that's moving, moving around, and has very technical and tactical skills.
did Canelo fight? No, that was Triple G that fought Amir Khan, right?
I think so.
Who was that one small? Did Canelo fight some smaller person? Was it Kell Brook or was it? No, I'm still
John
thinking of Triple G.
Ryder.
No, it
No,
was
Canelo
no.
fight.
Actually, it was Canelo did fight Amir Khan. Yeah, it was Amir Khan with the speed and all of that stuff. Came up. He started off the first 3-4 rounds good, piecing them up, and then once Canelo saw his rhythm and all of that, Canelo knocked him out. I mean, Canelo knocked him out cold.
But I can't say American is Bud level, and American don't have the best chin.
Amir Khan didn't have a chin.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing.
Amir Khan didn't have a chin, but punching wise, he had some hand speed.
Right.
But I still people are saying that I can. It's no. As much as I want Bud to win, I have to give it to Canelo on it. It's people are coming up with all these scenarios on how he'll do this and that. I hate saying it, I don't see it happening. I don't. It's no way.
All right. Hold on one second, Cam J.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. What's up, Wayne Evans? Shout outs to Wayne Evans. Please hit the thumbs up as you enter the chat. Yeah, man, it's gonna be something to look
I
forward
want
to,
Bud to
man.
win. Trust and believe me. I don't want Canelo to win. I want to see him lose. But I've thrown everything across my head, and it's not. I don't see it happening. Even though I would be very happy if it happened. I would be very very happy.
Right, for sure.
What's up, Cam?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. Um. Yeah, man. I mean, Mike, I hear you, man. But
I would be elated. I would be so. You don't know how happy I'd be if he beat him. I'd be like, yeah, we beat that punk. I can't. I'm thinking like a logical boxer. I don't see it happening, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna show you pictures though. I'm gonna show you pictures though. I bought me and my wife and my son. I got tickets for the Bam Rodriguez fight in Frisco.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. I was just talking about that on my show earlier. I was talking about that. Robert Garcia came out with that. I guess he had an interview with Boxing Scene. He was saying that Bam Rodriguez got about 2 more fights at 115, and then they're planning to move him up to 118.
That'll be who I would know who I wish he would go up and fight. What's his? Oh God, I just. Huh? Gino Nakatani. Now that will be a fight.
Hey, Cal.
Yeah.
Are you using the same? It sounded real staticky when you talk.
Staticky?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go. I'm gonna go back out and I'm gonna come back in.
Okay.
Now that will be a fight. Gino Nakatani and Bam Rodriguez. And I hate saying this. I have a feeling Inoue's 32, right?
I think 32. I can double check.
He's 32. I have a feeling at those real small weight classes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling in the next 4 or so fights, he's going to eventually take his first loss. And it's not because he's not skilled. It's just his age, and he can't be leaving his hand down and getting caught by these people. Does that make we did his last fight. We did see a lot. We learned a lot about his opponent. You can't sleep on those some of these people you never heard of.
Right.
Is he coming back man. On? Yeah, He made a name, even though he got beat. He made a name for
himself. I sound now. I sound better.
Yeah.
Much better. Okay. Exactly. All right. Yeah. I know what happened.
Oh, hold on 1 second, Cam. JC trying to tighten something up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the fights either last night, what you were talking about. I missed all of them. I missed all of them yesterday. They said one of them was real good, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go running back later tonight because I had a busy weekend. All right.
No, I did. No, I did too. I might watch. I mean, some of them not even.
All right, Cam, you there?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
You hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. Did y'all watch the fights last night?
No, I was so busy.
Yeah, you was moving around my brother, with bro and everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Last night they Top Rank they had a card last night up in New Jersey.
Top Rank? What time was Top Rank's card?
Probably the same.
This week.
Yeah, it was about the same time that they typically had a cards around 8, 8 o'clock. But the main fights to watch last night was the Jahad Tucker versus it was like 10. It was like 10. You know what I mean? The main card. You know what I mean? But Jahad Tucker versus Lorenzo Truck Simpson last night. Baltimore guy. They fought last night. That was a good scrap last night, man. But Jahad Tucker, man, he controlled the pace throughout the fight, and he took that last night. I know a lot of people that was talking about that fight in particular. They were saying that they felt that the fight was close enough to where it could have been a draw. But me watching it back, I watched it this morning, and I was like, I thought, Jahad Tucker won that by 2 or 3 rounds, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Lorenzo Simpson, he was more so like trying to pop one shot and then, he back. He was trying to pop the big shots. Like he wasn't trying to set anything up for real. You know what I mean? So Jahan Tucker, fought a good fight. Picked his shots very very well last night and took that last night. That was a good fight. And the main event was Vito Milnicki. The one cat from the East Coast, man. I think he's like Polish or so, I believe, something like that. But more Italian, something like that. But he fought last night. He pitched a shutout. It ain't it's irrelevant to talk about that fight. Like that was a showcase fight for him to look good in his home, for a main event last night. So wasn't too much really action. Rashidi Ellis did fight last night as well, but it wasn't on the top rank card. I don't know what card he fought on, but I ended up catching his fight on Mill City because Mill City was at his fight, and he ended up showing his fight on Mill City's channel. So I watched Rashidi Ellis last night. He had a third round knockout with a body shot last night, man. The op wasn't too crazy to be honest, but he did his thing last night. And I know there was some fights on the zone earlier in the day. I didn't watch them. There was some fights in the UK yesterday. I didn't really watch them, but wasn't too much action this week for real. Now this next week we got some real action. Leon Pyro, he's fighting Wednesday. Then you got two fights Friday with Top Rank. They got M Billy, he's fighting on Friday night on Top Rank on ESPN, and then you got Deontay Wilder Friday versus Tyrell Herndon, and then of course Jake Paul ended the weekend all fighting against Chavez Jr. And you got
That's
Kid
this
Austin.
weekend.
Yeah, it's coming up this next Saturday.
Oh
And
dang!
you got Kid
Hopefully
Austin
I get it.
versus
That's it. I'll be in Louisiana.
yeah, Kid Austin is fighting Floyd Scove, fighting Tevin Farmer. My bad.
Yeah, Tevin
Yeah, Kid
Farmer.
Austin. Yeah, so you got that. They got a few
Okay,
fights
okay.
on there
Who you
that's
got
pretty
winning
dope for
that
that
fight?
card
I
next
mean,
week.
that's gonna be interesting. Who you
It's
got winning
interesting
that
for
fight?
sure. Yes.
That's no.
Um, I was just talking about it on my
That's
show
gonna be a
just now,
good one, bro.
man. That's gonna be a good scrap for sure, man. I think it's a
He
50-50
did all
fight
right with
for the
Zepeda, so
style.
I'm like, is he too much for Floyd Schofield? I'm just wondering. I like Schofield, and it's like, is Schofield gonna get beat by the older veteran, or is Hughes gonna come out and he shows himself?
I don't know what we're gonna get out of Kid Austin, man, because this is really his
Yeah,
best fight, like his toughest op. You know what I mean? So I don't
yeah,
know what we're
no,
gonna get
you're
out of
right
him
about it.
because
Yeah,
of
you're right.
some of the fights that he done had in the past, kind of green ops for real. Like a lot of the ops been green, but he got some talent. You know what I mean? And, I'm sorry he really didn't take that fight with Shakur, man. He ducked that fight, man. That was nasty work what they
He's
did
He
up
not
there
ready
in
for
did,
Saudi
Shakur.
man.
Arabia. That was
I'm telling it
nasty
to you
work
like
what they
this.
did.
I'm telling it to you like this. He wasn't ready for Shakur Stevenson, and everybody can get mad at me if you want. I'm still not sold on Abdullah Mason. When he got
He
dropped
should.
twice,
Kid
he got
Austin
dropped
shouldn't have
twice in the
signed. This
round by a D
this my
level
thing
fighter.
though,
I
Mike.
need to see
This
more.
this my thing though, Mike. Kid Austin don't sign up for the fight if you ain't ready. Don't
Exactly.
sign up
Don't
Exactly.
talk
for it.
all
You
that
should have
junk.
never.
Don't
Don't
Right.
talk
don't
all
come
that junk.
don't come all the way to Saudi Arabia and you've been sitting there for 3 weeks prior to the fight. In the week of the fight, you obviously just up and just get sick and you gotta duck the fight. Like, come on. Like you wasted Shakur time and everything. Like now Shakur had to fight a guy that he
I'm
shouldn't
gonna
have
let y'all in
fought.
a little
And
bit of
Josh Taylor.
information. I
Right.
can't say no names.
Like Shakur was
I can't say
wasting
no
his
names.
time giving him a shot. Shakur didn't have to give Kid Austin a shot for real.
Facts.
He didn't have to give him a shot. Kid Austin wasted all of our times with that bullshit for real that time.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
Like
letting you
he
know this.
wasted
They need
time.
3 weeks
And he
out.
need to make up for it in this Tevin Farmer fight for real.
Yeah.
I'm just
Definitely.
letting you know this. And I know this because I know somebody that got offered the fight. They knew 3 weeks before the fight that he wasn't going to do it. He wasn't going to wait for it.
Hey, hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I said, "Well, Scotty,
You you start you starting to go in and out, Mike.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'll be back in a minute, okay?
Okay.
I gotta go home. I'll be back in a minute, all right?
Bet.
okay."
Uh,
Yeah, man. But like you said, Cam J, man, that wasn't even cool for Kid Austin to to get everybody hyped up and then come all the way out there just to waste time. What up, Rob?
Yeah, man.
Uh, give us
Yeah,
1 second.
man.
One second, Rob.
Yeah, it was
Um,
nasty work, bro. Like this fight, I like the fight with Kid Austin, Tevin Farmer, and in particular. I was just talking about it on my show, where what I had earlier, and I was saying that I think this is a 50-50 fight for real. Tevin Farmer, very experienced. Had great tough fights in his last three fights. Arguably, a lot of people felt like he probably pulled that one out against Raymond Muratalla, even though they gave Muratalla the win in that fight. And then the first fight was the Pata. They felt like that was a close, controversial fight as well, to where they ended up running it back, and Zapata took that in that second fight. I mean, now we got Tevin Farmer versus Kid Austin. Tevin Farmer's definitely on gatekeeper timing right now. You know what I mean? He on gatekeeper timing, but at the same time, like, you know what I mean, he got a shot with this Kid Austin kid, man. Like, we don't know what Kid Austin got, man, and we gonna get to see it next week on June 28th, man, next Saturday.
for sure. Yeah, that's gonna be a. I can't miss that. I can't miss them.
Yeah,
Hey, I got to see these
yeah.
next weekend.
Bowman got another fighter named Avian Griffin that's fighting on the card. I think he's fighting at one. I want to say he's fighting at 147. I don't know if he's at 147 or he had a higher weight. I'll check though to be sure. I think it's like he in between 147 160. But new fighter for Bomac under his stable, Avian Griffin. They said this guy's the goods, man. I watched a couple little clips from him. I ain't watched fully him 100%, but I'm definitely interested in watching him this Saturday too, because he's on the card. He just signed with Jake Paul, so what I'm saying, Jake Paul think highly of him. Obviously, he's signing him on over there at MVP. So yeah, man, should be a decent card next Saturday, man. Golden Boy got a lot of fighters on the card fighting guys, so definitely gonna be interested in that fight. But you are, of course, like I said, we got fights throughout this week. It's gonna be a busy week in boxing, man. Leon Paro, he's fighting Wednesday, early in the morning, and then you got Wilder versus Herndon Friday. Then you got M. Billy fighting on the same night on Friday as well. So like it's heating up in boxing, man. It's getting lit, man. It's getting lit for sure.
Yeah, that's what the game needs, man.
This weekend was a dry weekend. It was a dry weekend this weekend. You know what I mean? Like so, but it's cool. It's picking up this week though.
That's what's up, man. That's definitely what's up. Oh, good. You can hear me, Rob?
Yeah, I got you, man. What's up? Can y'all hear me?
Yep, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you perfect. So what topics you got, brother? What topics? Let's run through some of these topics you got.
Okay, so do I've been missing a lot of boxing, man. My work schedule, man, is kind of taking me out the loop a little bit. But
Yeah.
I did come across a little information that PBC is doing a deal with ESPN. How true that is, I don't know.
I heard something about that.
Yeah, they're in preliminary talks with ESPN about working with ESPN right now, which is I broke that Wednesday night on my show, Wednesday night on the show,
Okay.
where I was talking about it, and I was like, because Brunch Boxing, they was the first ones to bring it up. And I seen it from
Okay.
them, and then I broke it to my my following and everything. And ESPN, man, just think about it. Top Rank, their deal is up at the end of July. And apparently, Bob Arum said that they're going to announce their new network that they're going to be working with after the deal is done. And no, ESPN, like I said, they gave out. They had Top Rank had a $90 million budget a year. You know what I mean for fights, dog. And this is something I needed to do a video on this, but I speak this on here. This is some real life gems right here. So just think about the fights that Top Rank thrown over the years, and just say this past year in particular. Now, them getting $90 million a year. Do you think they spent $90 million on all of these fights that they have had this past year? Just think about a lot of the fights they just sending, guys to Turkey fighting over there on Riyadh season and everything. You know what I'm saying? Particular guys like Tyson Fury, where they're taking a promotional fee from him. You know what I mean? Like, just think of the quality of content that they have, which is they've had great fights, over the past years. I mean, this past year in particular. But you think of the cards that they do. Top Rank does a lot of in-house fights. You know what I mean? That they put on as far as them investing and using their money on. And they don't do many pay-per-view fights over there. They don't do many
Nah,
pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And ESPN is looking at it like, yo, y'all losing this money over here. Like, y'all losing us a lot of money over here. We can't work with you guys. Like, y'all gonna have to figure something out. But them having an interest in working with PBC, they're looking at PBC like, yo, we like what y'all doing over there. Y'all got pay-per-view fighters over there. Like, y'all building, y'all profit from y'all events. Y'all looking to profit. We're looking to profit. No, we got more dates and stuff for you guys for your staple. We know y'all have a lot of fighters over there at PBC, and we can give y'all more dates. Let's try to work something out, and that's where we at right now. PBC and ESPN, they're possibly working out where PBC have ESPN possibly and Amazon Prime behind them, which is
okay,
big time.
dude, because
That's
that's what
big time right there.
because when
And
ESPN got
everybody
on,
say and everybody say PBC broke and they going out of business, this and that, Rick Glazer, all of that, all cat.
bro, because
Cat.
when
It just proves it
ESPN,
every time.
that's all listening to none of them do. Because when ESPN got into business with Top Rank, they were looking to get into the pay-per-view business with them. You know what I'm saying? And that's when
That's what
they,
they were thought. That was their initial thoughts, right?
yeah. And so they signed them up, and then they started putting on these fights and these little fights, and they wasn't producing a any pay-per-view stars because if everybody remember, Teo and Lama was supposed to be a pay-per-view, but the thing that they
You go
spun,
there.
yeah, okay. See, they spun it after
Yeah,
when they were trying to market it and everything, they spun it like, oh, we just want to get the fans what they want to see. No, they're not pay-per-view fighters, bro, and it was gonna bomb. So they put out a little publicist quote, and I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? They just trying to do that. Crawford was okay, but he really wasn't selling. He's a good fighter, man, but he wasn't selling like that. Lama is just a regular TV guy. Haney had to sign a 2-fight deal, a 3-fight deal with 2 different promoters to can't even come over there. When Tyson Fury signed up, that was supposed to be a anchor because if everybody remember, him and Wilder did a deal without no contracts. It was just straight up, no, nothing like that. And then, like at the midnight hour, Fury signed on with ESPN. But now, from what I was told, from what I read, excuse me, Fury was supposed to get 12 million a fight. But when I go look at the insight, I think it had to be close like to 1 million or something like that. And he wasn't selling. He wasn't as big as everybody was saying he was on ESPN. His biggest paydays and his biggest fight came against Wilder. But that was their
right.
initial that was their initial anchor to get into the pay-per-view business. And Top Rank just never produced that. PBC got pay-per-view guys. They've always had pay-per-view guys.
Right. Right.
Whether
Absolutely,
they
bro.
sell big or not, but they still pay-per-view guys.
Absolutely, bro. And that's the thing. Like you said, Top Rank, they were in the business believing that they were going to have well, ESPN was in the position that Top Rank was going to build pay-per-view stars for them and try to get in the pay-per-view business with boxing. And Top Rank, they just look at their history as far as in recent time, they have not grown many pay-per-view stars. A lot of the guys that they possibly could have, they ended up letting them leave. You know what I'm saying? And then some of the guys that did leave wasn't producing many numbers anyway because Top Rank, they're sitting there giving these guys guaranteed bags. You know what I mean? Like they made those guys lazy. They didn't make those guys work for the B pay-per-view stars.
Bro,
You know
that's
what I
why
mean?
Taylor
Like
fighting on
especially
BLK
with a lot of the matchmaking that they do and everything, like bro, like they play it safe with a lot of fights over there with certain particular guys, like especially the stars that they're grooming up. You know what I mean?
bro.
And I wanted to say this too. I know Mike ain't on here, man. I hope Mike do come back on here.
Yeah,
But
me
as
too.
far as
I got a bone to pick with him.
yeah, I hope he do come on here. But I do want to pick on this a little bit though with the Abdullah Mason little part. And me and Bean, we talked about this with my boy Marcus from Ohio Runs Boxing, man. Salute to my brother, man, for sure. With Abdullah Mason, when he got knocked down in that fight, you know what I'm saying? He got knocked out twice, but then what I'm saying, what he do? He come back and he knocked dude out in the next round and stopped him cold. You know what I'm saying? He was out of there. I mean, like you got to give credit to the resilience and the warrior in him. You know what I'm saying, for doing that. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
guys get knocked out twice. They gonna start running around the ring. You know what I mean? Being on their boxing track star timing. You know what I mean? So you
Yeah.
gotta show love to that. You know what I mean? And just because you get knocked out in a fight don't mean you know what I'm saying, you trash or you ain't like that. Whatever. We seeing a star in the making with Abdullah Mason right now. What he doing? Like that boy just cooked
Right.
Nakatila. Cooked them easily. You know what I'm saying? And
No
he was
problem.
patient. His defense was sharp and everything. Like, bro, like you gotta look at the performance after that fight. And his last two performances after that fight where he got knocked out twice, he dominated and he been tightening up his defense and he been patient with his offense because he's very offensive minded, but he know I gotta be defensive minded too with my offense, and he's starting to learn to become a lot more patient. He even said it in his interview recently that he had, basically saying like, I be patient usually when I be sparring and in my camp and everything. So I wanted to try to be patient as much as possible with my offense and and build and break them down and everything. And that's what he's doing, man. So just to say a guy like Abdullah Mason, like, oh, he got knocked out twice, shit. I see, but then Mike was saying, God was talking about, I like Kid Austin. Kid Austin, I seen him get knocked down by a poop putt. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, in his last fight. So we ain't talking about that, you know what I'm saying? And he got up and he won the fight, you know what I mean? So just because you get knocked down in the fight don't mean you trash, you know what I mean? Like, it's happened. It's boxing. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Right.
it's just like the old school, even though it's just a movie, but it's like a Rocky moment. You know what I'm saying? He can't appreciate the Rocky moment. Abdullah had a Rocky moment. He got down,
Facts.
you get back up and you win.
Yeah,
Facts.
man. I'm a Mr. Wilder fight, man. Depends on what time he come on. At least out here, I might be at work. But I'm gonna say this, dude. And y'all might call me crazy. I think if Wilder finds that finds that fire again, man, I'm not expecting a whole miracle out of this because of who he's fighting first of all.
I'm glad we
It's
talking today. I'm glad we all three talking about this because I was talking about Wilder and AJ on my show today. So I'm glad we all three are talking because I want to break down some stuff. We gonna talk today. Go ahead,
All
bro.
right.
Go
Yeah.
I,
ahead.
I I think that if he wins this fight in grand fashion, man, I think one more fight, and then I think they're gonna try to line the AJ fight up. There's talk of retirement by uh Usyk. That can scatter a belt, and you know what I'm saying. And maybe they can get one of the belts in play, man, and do this thing, man. But I want to see what Wilder's heart really is, man, because he said after the Fury fight, no, before the third Fury fight, he was fulfilled all his promises to his daughter. B, financially set, and when you got those two working for you, you ain't really, like he said, I box because I want to, not because I got to no more. And then so now you just kind of got to find that out. We're gonna see where he at in this fight, man. I might have to catch the replay, but I want to see him and AJ still get it on. I still think that's a very, very marketable,
Yeah.
good fight,
Yeah.
man, for
Mm-hmm.
both guys. Even though they both been through what they've been through, it'll still sell, bro. It'll still
I just
sell.
say I'm talking about it. So I've spoken on my show earlier where I was saying that of course me and Bean we talked about it where AJ Wilder basically said came out on the interview that he had because he got like Wilder got like 3-4 interviews out right now
Yeah. He
promoting
got a
for
lot
the
of them.
fight coming up.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
he mentioned that they asked him about fighting his next fight and asked him about AJ. He said hell yeah, I'll definitely fight AJ. And then it was funny. I seen the clip from Frank Smith, Matchroom Boxing CEO, where they asked about AJ what he got going on and everything, and they were saying that AJ he's recovering from the elbow injury and everything, and he said that the Wilder fight is not out of reach. He said it's not out of reach, and he said that AJ. But the thing was, what caught me though, what he said in his Mustard's interview, he said AJ, he's in position to do whatever he wants. Which is no, this is the thing. I said I agree with you. AJ is in position to do what he wants. But the thing is, the fight fans want to see him fight one of those guys between Fury and Wilder still. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
still in the
Yeah.
air. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
the fight fans still want those fights. And you can't be too hopeful. Now he did mention Fury. I said, but that's like, being hopeful. You know what I'm saying? Because Fred's in retirement, and we don't really know if he's gonna come back or not. You know what I mean? And but the Wilder fight is there because Wilder has a fight next week. AJ, shit. Do I prefer AJ to have a tune-up going into a Wilder fight right now? No. Go straight into the fight.
Really?
Go straight into the fight.
Really? They
Go straight in. I don't even know why we gonna be here waiting. We've been waiting for years. We've been waiting for years. Hey, I don't need you to have no tune-up, AJ. Go ahead and go straight at it, man. With that Wilder, man. Get that money, man.
Yeah, you come harder, bro. This ain't good to ring. I feel you, though, man. This ain't good to ring. I feel you, though, man. I feel you. I think now I really think that fight is a 50-50. And I think now I really think that fight is a 50-50. And I even Usyk's people might try to call out Wilder. If he did win, that Usyk's people might try to call out Wilder. Depending on his match with Dubois. They might think, we got to suck on the hook now, you know what I'm saying? They might think, we got to suck on whatever he passes it. He ain't ranked it, whatever he passes it. I wouldn't be shocked if that happened.
What you think, B?
Shocked if that happened.
What you think, B?
Well, I feel like I was looking at Wilder on them interviews you talking about, a couple of them, and he pretty much said like he felt like in his heart that Fury ain't really retired. He think Fury just, buying time.
Right.
And I agree with Wilder. I don't think, because how many times has he pulled this stunt saying he's retired?
16 million.
Right.
7 days after Usyk beat AJ. I'm about to now. Okay.
People think of that, man.
Yeah, man. So I feel like it needs to happen, but like me and Cam, we chopped it up that one day on the phone. I feel like after Wilder, he should win this on Friday. So if he gets it a knockout in dramatic fashion versus Herndon, he needs to grab that mic after the fight and call out AJ and put pressure on AJ, because you're gonna need a response at least.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody else. I want AJ next. That's what Wilder needs to say. I want nobody else. I want AJ next. And then
Put that pressure
see what
on that.
AJ say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, bro.
Me too.
I'm with you on that. You win, like Wilder win that fight. Hey, only fight I would be calling out is AJ. Like, let's make it happen, man. Like, it's better late than never. That's what I said earlier. It's better late than never, man. I want to see the fight regardless, man, if they can make it happen, man. I just don't see why, like, now they're both on the back end of their careers. They both had, a couple of losses.
Yeah, they both been knocked out. So, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all both have went through trials and tribulations in your career, man. So, like, even with everything going on, bro, it'll still be a big money fight. Y'all give the fans what they want. Give us what we want. We still want to see that fight. If Wilder does get past Herndon, which I truly believe Wilder should get past Herndon. Like, until this Herndon guy, he's not that. He's not that, man. If Wilder ain't skillfully better than Herndon, bro, if he can't beat Herndon, bro,
yeah, it's really time.
It's over. It's over, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love you, Wilder, but you can't beat this guy. Just go ahead and call it quits, man. It's cool. You had a great career. You had one of the longest runs in the heavyweight division, especially of this specific area. I mean, you was 10 title defenses in a row. I mean, nobody didn't do that in this era at all. Like, he's the only one. You know what I mean? So, like, win this fight, man. I'm really hoping Wilder can win this fight Friday coming up, man. Look sharp out there. You know what I'm saying?
What time do it start?
I think it's like the card. It's a lot of fights on the card, so I know I'm gonna check the Ringwalk time for us them two in particular, because I ain't about to sit back and watch all of them guys. Because there's a lot of guys that I know of on that card, and I'm not about to be watching them on Friday like that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm there for his fight in particular, though. I gotta admit, I'm definitely gonna be watching his fight this next Friday for sure, man. Like. For sure. Like, this is This is the time, Wilder. Show us that you back. Now, this is my thing about Wilder, though. The Malik guy, man. Why you still got that guy as a trainer, man? Why you ain't get rid of that dog?
Oh, I'm hearing something that Malik Scott won't be his trainer. That's what I heard.
So he got a new trainer now.
Well, they're not saying nothing. They're just saying that
he ain't,
it won't be Malik,
yeah,
but they're not saying who it will be.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that's what I heard in one of the interviews that I watched from him too. That he said that Malik wasn't going to be the guy, but he wasn't telling. So yeah, that I'm glad that he's out of there because that was the problem right there. He said, get him out of there. Malik didn't do nothing good for him. He didn't basically let Wilder get worse with him. He didn't elevate at all. You want to elevate with your trainers, like whoever your trainer or whoever your team is. You want to elevate with them. You don't want to get worse and regress. And that's what we had out of Wilder recently.
I was talking to Eugene, man, and he know I'm one of the biggest Wilder fans, and I was giving Malik the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, well, Wilder has been in this mode all his life. I said, at this point, you can't ask a tiger to change his stripes. I say, only thing I think he can do is tweak Wilder a little bit, you know what I'm saying, set the right hand up. But, and it's my confession to you too, G, when he put Wilder in a position to come into the ring at 236 pounds, I said, dog, what the hell? That is not his fighting weight. It has never been. Wilder has always been comfortable between 216 and 225. Maybe 225 at the heaviest, but if he's 220, he's solid. Even though he really can't, box, dude, that was too much weight on that man. Oh, it was an experiment. Dude, what you experiment with? Fight your fight, bro. Like, come in and ring to how you feel comfortable with. And then afterwards, you start getting progressively. And I was trying to hang on, dog. And I was like, okay, man, now it's time for him to go, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, well, I was waiting for him to get it. He should have got rid of him before Parker, man. After Fury 3, get rid of him. Get him out of here, man. Mm-hmm. Like, even after the Parker fight, he should have got him out of there. Because I'm like, bro, what is he here for?
I don't know.
Like, I'm just here because y'all friends? You knocked this man out. Why the hell you got this man training you anyway? You knocked this man out. That's my whole problem from the beginning. Like, I'm not about to have no man that I knocked out as my trainer. Are you crazy?
I think he was just doing it, man. It was like sentimental things and stuff like that, dude. But I didn't expect much out of it, and we really didn't get that much out of it. Outside the that one fight he had where he knocked him out, dude, AJ Hellenius, yeah.
Hellenius,
yeah, I was like, man, that was, and that really wasn't even a fight, man. But like, I don't know, man.
Everybody was comparing his knockout with AJ because they both fought him around like a year span or something like that around that time. Yeah. So that was like, see, that pisses me off thinking about that because now it pissed me off because y'all both had them fight the same op. And then y'all ain't trying to make the fight happen, bro. Like, see, this is stuff. Bro. It's nasty work, bro. It's nasty work.
I did see a quote from after Norman knocked out I can't pronounce his name. I'm like, bro, why? Yeah, like why you whooping at Boots now? Now he's going off to why you whooping? Why you whooping? He was right here. They offered you the fight. They offered you the world. They gave him the after 7. I give you the sun, the moon, the stars, and the mountains. And you was like, nah, I want none of that. I don't want. But after this, yeah, we went in the same booth. I'm like, bro, stop. I'm gonna use your word, Kat. That's nasty work, bro.
Man, bro, it's real, bro. We've been talking about this. This has been a discussion the whole week on YouTube, Boxing Streets, bro. Like where we've been talking about this fight. I'm like with Brian Norman. Like the thing is, when I told people earlier on the show, I was like, with the situation with Brian Norman, I like Brian Norman. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, the whole situation, you got Brian Norman, he was in a fight with Derek Cuevas, and then he was in a process of negotiating a fight with Boots for after that. And then he claims, like, with the whole Jen Sasaki situation in Boots, he like, well, I'm getting ready for Jen Sasaki. I want to focus on this fight, and then we can negotiate after. Well, if that's the case, why was y'all negotiating a fight when y'all had a fight locked in with Cuevas? You know what I mean? At the same time, Like, and now y'all can't negotiate when y'all about to fight a guy named Jin Sasaki, a guy that 19-1 that lost, got knocked out by a 140 pounder and Andy Hiroka. And on top of that, Jin Sasaki last fight was in January, and he fought a guy that was 29-14. He was fighting a guy that was a straight Pizza Hut worker. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying the deal. Like, Jin Sasaki was no match for Brian Norman Jr., and the Normans know that for a fact, man. So y'all know y'all was going to flatline this guy, which y'all flatline the kid. The kid Jin Sasaki didn't even remember. He don't even remember his previous 6 weeks.
Oh, another thing, Cam J, I would agree with your boy. Shout out to Ohio Runs Boxing. Marcus was saying he felt like Norman carried him. Remember how he did him in round 1, dropped him twice. He let him make it to 5th round. He could have stopped him in round 2.
Yeah, he could have put way more damage on that guy, bro. Like, I'm glad the ending was crazy. That was knockout of the year. You know what I'm saying? Like, salute to Brian Norman Jr. I think he is the goods. Like, and Atlanta don't have many fighters right now, so it's good to have a guy like Brian Norman Jr. out of Atlanta coming up there. No, got world champion. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing. You know what I mean? But the whole situation with the Normans trying to say Boots ducking them is BS because Boots and them, they tried to fight y'all, this past year, and y'all played around with it. And I don't blame Boots for sitting here like, yo, I can't get a fight out of Barrios. I can't get a fight out of the Normans. I'm not about to sit here and wait and and let myself get out drained out of the weight class like Earl Spence did, you know what I mean? So no, I'm about to move up to 154, and it's real smoke at 154. It's a lot of the bigger fights and bigger money fights up there at 154 for me. So the fight with Brian Norman is not far away. If he wants smoke, meet me at 154.
Yeah, dude. I think in Norman's case, man, when you win a title like that, you're not as skilled yet, and you just kind of coming along. I think they call Boots out on purpose just to get some name clout, and then
they attaching their name to Boots. That's the thing. Like, they're attaching their name to Boots, but now y'all not in the same division. So what's the point of trying to still attach your name to Boots? There's no point. So like now y'all got the chance to be the king at 147 now. Like, go after it and go get that. Like, go get Rolly. Rolly got WBA at 147 now. Go get Rolly. Go get Barrios if he beat Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Go get who else got the other title?
They fought already.
Who?
I missed.
Pac-Man and Barrios is July 19th. July 19th.
Okay.
They July 19th. They coming up. So like Brian Norman, go get these other straps, man, and do your thing and conquer the 147-pound division. Then move up to 154. And then you can see what's up with Boots up there, man, if he doing this thing up there.
Dude, they just want to let him enjoy his title before they gave it back up. Just like with Cambosis when he got his, they really didn't want to fight Tank, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because they first of all, and I'll tell him Mike this, and I hope he come back on, because he said I compared Sugar Ray Leonard to Tank, and James hit me up.
He gotta come back on for some smoke with you. Y'all got a debate for real. Y'all got a real long debate. We ain't forget about that.
It's on the calendar. So like when you get a fighter like that, man, they say, okay, let's let him enjoy the title before we just throw him in the fire, man. And we know he ain't ready to go against Boots and nothing like that, man. So
just look at the timeline. Look at what they had with like Brian Norman's last his last 3 fights. He was even before like he fought Giovanni Santillan and got that WBO interim title. Even before that, he was having some lackluster performances. In Top Rank, they were thinking about dropping him.
Oh,
the fight they gave him, the fight with Giovanni Santillan, believing that Giovanni was going to beat him. Like, they was setting him up to lose that fight if it would have went to the decision. But Brian Norman got the job done, and he stopped him to where like he got a hold of that WBO that interim. You know what I mean? He ended up getting the interim title to where he got moved up once Bud moved up to 154. But then you look at the next fight he had against Derek Quavers. clean him. You whooped the guy. Yeah, Cuevas was a powerful guy. He was a little bit, tricky a little bit. So if people paid attention to a guy like Derek Cuevas, but little decent fight. We knew he was gonna win that. He punished him. That it is what it is. We knew the Jensen Saki situation. He was gonna, cook him.
Yeah.
I mean, so like with top rank, they were willing to have Norman fight Boots. But Boots is, I feel like Norman and them, they said that we're not gonna wait on Boots and stuff. Y'all saying the same shit that Boots saying now about y'all. Like what I'm saying? Like, oh, we gonna do our own thing, we gonna work at our own pace. Okay, work at your own pace, but don't talk about Boots in the process of that. Y'all can do your own thing over there and build and do
Right.
y'all thing over there without attaching your name to Boots. Y'all gotta attach your name to Boots. You know what I'm saying? To build and do what y'all do.
Yo, I'm gonna read this comment and tell me what y'all think. Shout outs to Universal Basic Income. He said, bruh, that's his toxic daddy. Norman Sr. speaking through him just like Tafime Sr. does for his boy. And Bill Haney does with Devin.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I spoke about this on the show too earlier, which is I know a lot of people be like, you watched the show back earlier. It was crazy, man. Because we thought my boy BBO was trying to say I hate black fathers earlier, and I'm like, bro, I'm a black father myself. You're only saying I hate black fathers due to me, criticizing Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr. when they sitting out there speaking more for their sons and not letting their sons do their thing and be the stars that they can become, and in this boxing industry. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I don't like Bill Haney. I mean, that's because he lies. Because he lies. He BS's with propaganda every day, all day. It don't make me a guy that hate all black fighters. I don't like Bill Haney. Because you know what I'm saying? Bill Haney's not the only black father in this world. You know what I mean? It's black fathers in this world. You know what I mean? I'm just saying in general, a lot of these guys. They be talking a lot in the media for their sons, man. They need to let their sons do their thing. Kid also don't even control his daggone social media. Daggone Floyd Schofield Sr. be on his controls all of his social media and speaks for him. Like Kid Austin, like we want to see the fighter. He's the brand. Like, we want to see him. You don't see Boots Ennis in every interview that Boots Ennis is doing. You don't see Earl Spence Sr. in all the interviews that Earl Spence Jr. is doing. I mean, you don't see Abdullah Mason pops, in the interviews with Abdullah Mason and everything. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, they let their sons do their thing and become the star. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you should do it. You don't gotta be the guy that's trying to override your son and be the star in the situation when your son is the fighter and you're not the fighter.
Right, that's why Floyd Senior gets so much credit. He went into all in Floyd's interviews and sticking up for his son. Floyd was like, look, if it didn't come from me, it ain't true. This is why Roy Jones and his father split. That's why Roy Jones and his father split. He was like, I appreciate my dad, what he was trying to do, but he was just, saying, like, I'm the fighter. He's doing too much out here, so they split. Hey, it happens, man. It happens. But if your father speaking on, if you're letting your father speak on your behalf, then you got to deal with the results of that. You can easily go tell your dad, hey, dad, look, man, fall back, bro. I need you just to fall back just a little bit. Let's reel it in. Floyd did that a couple times with his father. Like, look, man, I need you to fall back right quick on this. You know what I'm saying? We got this under control. And he did that. But Hayden just out here every day, all day speaking. I'm like, bro, can you shut up, man? Let this man speak.
Right.
Yes. Hey, Bean, did you talk about Usyk earlier?
Oh, yeah. So
did you speak about Usyk with his manager?
That I did see something, but I wasn't sure that they might not be working together or something.
Yeah, Alexander Usyk cut ties from his manager that he's worked with over the past few years. Dubois, man, and that's kind of anything with the fight in particular, but I mean it's something to pay attention to a little bit, though, just as a fan, a little bit of both.
So speaking of that, what do you think, Rob? How's it gonna go? Usyk and Dubois too.
Oh man, look, bro.
You see what Dubois said, didn't you?
I missed the quote.
Just did an interview. He's hilarious. He said he's in the head of Usyk.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey man,
All right.
I ain't gonna lie, I can't wait till they fight week, like to see like the build up and everything they do during the build up, because this been a real like interesting build up with them too. I ain't gonna lie, like it's been quiet a little bit. Yeah, they've been doing content here and there and everything. They building it up a little bit strong, wrapping up the promo a little bit, but it's gonna be interesting fight week as far as the
Oh yeah.
build up. I can't wait for fight week.
Yeah, I think they're trying to show respect to it. Like a lot of, first of all, I think they're just trying to show a lot of respect to the other fighters that's out here, which is good for them. Because they, like you said, Cam, they slow building it. But I think fight week they're gonna go all out. But as far as the fight go, man, Dubois got rounds 1 through 5 to do what he gonna do. And if he go past 5 rounds, Usyk gonna cook him because your head. Now when I say your head space for Dubois, man, if he ain't locked in all the way, like if something rattles him just enough, a little bit or whatever, he can lose entire focus, man. Because even before he made his quote and saying after that knockdown, I lost. My head stayed in that round where the knockdown was on Usyk. He said he never came out of that. I said the same thing. Then he repeated my quote. So skill wise, I think Usyk knows this. Like, yo, I'm gonna put it on him just enough. Keep it rounds 1 through 5, and then I'm taking him to the waters and drown him. His best shot is to beat him rounds 1 through 4, or even get him in trouble enough to carry over to the second half of the fight. If he can't shake or knock or knock him, I mean, like rattle Usyk and get him out of his game plan 1 through 5, it's over. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, bro. Like I've heard that same exact take that you had. I've heard people say that same exact thing, thinking that Dubois gonna have to get Usyk in them early rounds in the fight.
He
Like,
is.
so
He is.
I understand that.
And that's from a mental point that the skill set is there. He can land a shot. He can land big shots. But you got to be like all the way in. Like it's a thinker's man game, man. Like he gonna have to outthink this guy. And if he can't mentally break Usyk by round 5, it's over. It's over. And the only way he gonna do it if he lands something big. And I don't see Usyk getting caught with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Out just clear out the blue. I can't see it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. I feel like it's gonna be better than the first one.
Oh yeah, no, I got Usyk winning. I got him on points though. I don't see him knocking him out unless he just quits. I got him on the cards.
Let me so I don't know if y'all talked about Shakur today, man. You talked about Shakur today?
Nah, I didn't drop on him yet.
Okay, so this is a little kind of Shakur, man. Shakur, like, of course, he ramping up, a little bit of promo for the fight coming up July 12th and everything. And he had a tweet earlier, speaking about the fight. Basically said, telling Williams don't start backtracking now. July 12th right around the corner. Stand on everything y'all said about me. And Williams Itauma, remember all the BS that you said, how you stopping me. Let's see how you do that. And you know what I mean? Interesting right there. And then it was funny, this guy, Shakur, he says, I'm the 135-pound king. And then this one guy on Twitter responded to him, said, to be the king, you have to beat the king. And that king is Tank Davis. You know what I mean? So just funny stuff with Shakur, man. Yeah, the fight coming up July 12th. And I seen an interview earlier with him with this guy, Brian Mazik. I think he works with Fight Hype, does some content with them. But he was saying in the fight with Zepeda that he's going to have to fight, and meaning that he's going to have to be in the pocket, make him miss and make him pay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see Shakur. Shakur been talking like he gonna put belt to ass to Zepeda and all of this, and then a lot of his fans believe he's going to be able to stop William Zepeda. I don't know about all of that with those hands of his, but I'm here to see it though for sure. You know what I mean? What y'all think about Shakur with Zepeda?
It's going to the cards, man. I don't see him dropping him. I don't see him stopping Zepeda, dude. Zepeda, it's a winnable fight for him, man. He about to land something big. Cause I don't see him outboxing him.
I got Shakur on points, man, but Shakur, man, he's one of those guys, man. Like, okay, his style is not boring to me. I like him, but you got to be able to put the butts in the seats. And in this fight, I think he's gonna have to like come after him. Like, you been doing too much talking about Zepeda. You been doing too much talking, so you got to let your hands go, bro. You really got to let it go, and let's see where you really at. I think he's scared to let his hands go because he don't want nothing to come back and get caught with something. And I can't even argue with that. You know what I'm saying? But you got to be able to mix that offense and that defense, man. And if I think if Zepeda pushes him hard enough, he might go into that little shell and be like, yo, I ain't doing nothing else. I'm just going to be, a little pot shot here, a little pot shot there. Zepeda's going to have to put pressure from opening round to whenever. But can he do that, though? Because Zepeda really fought nobody. We ain't really seen Zepeda either in one of those 50-50 big-time fights. This is going to be a good fight, but I'll put more pressure on Shakur because of who he is and how he's been talking and all of that.
Right.
Like,
the pressure's definitely on Shakur.
Yeah. Like, you had a chance. I forgot somebody was ready for that WBA #1, but you fight Zepeda. And what's up? And I guarantee you, if he beats Zepeda, I won't tank. No, you don't, bro.
Okay, I got some for that, and I said this on the show earlier too. I was like, all right, you want Tank? All right, you fighting July 12th. Tank's fighting August 16th. All right, you gonna this allegedly this is your last fight on this matchroom deal that you have going on. You will be a free agent. You will be a free agent. So Tank handle business against Roach. You handle business against the Pater. Let's come to the table. Come over to PBC so we can get this fight happening. Like, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear, oh, well, I want Turkey involved. Oh, Eddie Hearn, I need Eddie Hearn involved. No, I don't want to hear no excuses from Shakur Stevenson nor his fans. If he's a free agent, he need to come over to the table with Tank and PBC and make the fight happen. Because, like I said before, Tank is not going to give Shakur the house in the farm like Earl Spence did with Bud Crawford. He's not the same guy like Earl Spence. He's not that naive, and he's not that genuine to do that. You know what I'm saying? He works hard for his A side spot. You know what I mean? He's the cash cow. They don't do this with Canelo where they try to make demands for us Canelo. They bend the knee and they take the fight. Whatever Canelo put on the table, you take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They don't do that with and I said this, they don't do that with Canelo. But they try to do the shit with Tank Davis with the double standards, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's corny. You know what I mean? Tank is the cash cow. Shakur know where to get the fight. Stop putting roadblocks in between the fight. If you a free agent, come to the table and come over there and make the fight happen. Do what it takes to make the fight happen. I don't want to hear Shakur talking this, saying, I want to fight Tank, and then they reach back out to you after the fight about fighting, and then you talk about, oh, I want to go fight this guy instead. I don't want to hear that because I'm going to do like I did before last year when Shakur ducked the fight in reality to fight Joe Cordina. You know what I mean? I'm going to say again, Shakur, you're a duck. You don't want to fight Tank Davis. Stop talking about his name. I don't want to hear his name out of your mouth anymore because by actions, you show you don't want the fight.
Bro, you know why they're doing that though? Because Turkey is overpaying them to the tune of whatever. He's not paying them their market value. So they're saying, oh, I made this much money. No, bro, put your fights on pay-per-view. You headline against whoever. Let's say you headline against Frank Martin and do 260. Let's say you headline against somebody like I forgot, a Pitbull and do this many fights. Turkey is overpaying, and that's going to their head saying, well, I made this much money. No, bro, you still not the A side. You are on, even when they do pay you, you are still fighting on
the super B side. Super B side.
And you fight on undercards.
You fight on the undercards. You fight on undercards, bro. Like, come on. Like, let's be real. You've never been on a pay-per-view. You're fighting on undercards. You're on the undercard to Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga, bro. Like, come on. It don't get more uglier than that. Like, let's be real. Like, what are we talking about here? Like this man Shakur, you don't have much leverage in negotiations with Tank Davis, and you have to stop being naive and stop thinking that you're this super duper superstar, and you're not that. You're not that. Because PBC, what they gonna do? They gonna open up the books of all of these fights that you've been in, as far as your views, money you done made, etc., your dates, all of that. They're gonna open up the books. They're gonna be like, oh, you take this. The problem is Shakur wants a guaranteed bag because he's used to getting a guaranteed bag. He don't even know what a back end feel because he's never been on pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's their problem. Turkey is inflating them. Like, dude, that's not gonna cover
Turkey. Then look at what Turkey doing now. What he's saying, like he don't want no time in jury fights over there. He's talking about Shakur. He's talking about Shakur. You know, he's tired of overpaying these guys that want to be boxing track stars. So he said, if you're not going to entertain the fans, I'm not going to be continuing to pay you guys. He got a whole $180, 188,000 KO bonus for Canelo and Bud. Bro, that's how thirsty he is for entertainment for his events right now.
Bro, I read that and I saw Turkey said something to the line, and not to switch subjects a little bit on that. He was like, we don't need a fabulous undercard for this. I'm like, bro, all of a sudden now, you got one of the biggest fights in boxing, and you don't need a great undercard?
You see him dumping down the money to everybody?
Yeah,
he's not paying all this money that everybody believes Turkey is paying all these guys. Like, oh, he paid Tyson Fury $150 million. That's cap. He's not paying these guys this type of money. Like, yeah, he's paying them some significant money, but he's not sitting out there like, oh, Tyson Fury, you take $150 million. Alexander Usyk, you take $75 million. That it's not working like that. That's cap. Like, and if he is doing that, he's a dummy because you're losing all of this money, and then you look at Saudi Arabia and their government, they're pulling back that PFI fund a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why even more the bag is getting dumber, and that's why you got Turkey going to Zuffa boxing with Dana White. You see those numbers that Dana White is paying them UFC fighters, man? He paying them some crazy low numbers over there. Paying those guys like 20,000, 50,000, 100,000. You know what I'm saying? The main event getting 100,000. Like, bro, that shit ain't gonna work in boxing.
Bro, that ain't
gonna work in boxing. They gonna get wiped out the mat if they trying that in boxing.
Bro,
they won't last long.
Bro, when I saw them fees that they was putting up anyway, I'm like, good luck getting some A-listers, bro. Because even dude in the NBA who sort of, even the water boy in the NBA getting paid more than that, bro. Come on now, man.
Bro, it's graduate assistants at college football programs is getting paid more than they UFC fighters right now, bro.
Bro,
like, come on.
When I was arguing that in this little forum I was in, they were like, oh, Turkey can just put up some more money. I'm like, bro, they don't print up money like that. It don't work like that. U.S. got a printing press too. You don't see them just printing up bills for nothing. It's called a hedge fund. It's called investments. That's where the money came from. And Turkey is just the face of this hedge fund because he got to go to somebody and get the money from them.
Bro, look at all the money they spending right now, bro, for this Canelo Bud fight right now, bro.
Oh my God, bro.
They doing a million interviews, bro, all over the place. Thomas Hill, salute my brother. Yeah.
T Hill, what's up?
They doing a million interviews and everything, bro. They doing press conference here. The man Turkey charging for the New York press conference $70. Who's charging for press conferences, bro? Come on, bro. And they talking about the money. Oh, Turkey don't care about the money. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about the money, this and that. Then why is he charging for a press conference?
Hold on. I'm going to read off a few comments. Shout outs to Didi Cuzzo down south. Universal said, Daniel Dubois can do it he can do it though. 70% chance if he fights for the distance, not for the knockout. He just gotta hit the lower body again and again.
Yeah, I got that
Target
as a
that body.
55-45 fight with Usyk, but I like Daniel Dubois in the fight though. I definitely like. I like him.
Oh, really? You want to do Dubois, man?
I got Usyk winning. I got Usyk
Okay.
winning, but I like Dubois being competitive in the fight though. I think it's gonna be a good scrap.
Okay.
Zone
Dude,
15.
Mike, where you at? Mike, come back
Israel.
over here.
Shutouts. Shutouts to you.
Yeah, I'm about to end myself.
They trying to get
Huh?
Mike Ware. They trying to get you on
Oh,
here.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Get him on here. Get him on here. I ain't been hiding, bro. I've been business to take care of. I've been having proposals to do. I've been waiting on you, bro. I've been waiting. Bring him in here. Hold on. Pat, stay right there. I got something for you, bro.
You there, Cam J?
Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about Frank Martin moving up 135 to 140? Because you know he is a big dude. You know he got that body
I'm
mass.
sorry,
He a
I
big
get.
guy.
I'm glad we can talk about this on the show because I got some more insider about
Because
Frank earlier.
Frank Martin said,
crazy insider earlier.
yeah, you know Frank
Yeah,
Martin
bring him on in
said
here.
he said he would smash Keyshawn Davis. That's what Frank Martin said in the interview. He would smash Keyshawn.
Yeah, I like Frank Martin at 140, man. I think it's a good move, and it's some good fights that form up there at 140.
Dog.
I got a little bug, you know what I'm saying, earlier. I got a little bug earlier, man, that Frank might possibly realize be on this Tank Davis Lamont Rose undercard for August 16th, man.
Oh,
So
really?
That'd be lit.
yeah,
Hey.
so it's a possibility Frank might be on this undercard, man, back at it, man. So, looking for it, hoping that this gonna happen. And I got an insider on the opponent possibly too. So, but I don't want to announce it because I want to see if it come true from my guy that gave me the insider on it.
Bro, I think, man, I'm looking at all the divisions, and a lot of these divisions are not defined yet. That's what's making it interesting. Boost even moving up to 154. It's people up there, but it's not defined yet. Even the 160 is not defined yet. 175 is defined because my man got all the titles. But like most of these divisions, man, they got like, yo, you could pick a guy, but like ain't nobody running it yet. That's what's making it interesting.
Right.
Can
Oh,
you see
yo,
me?
to everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we about to bring in Mike Ware shortly. Him and
There he
Rob
is.
are like the two
There you
brothers
go.
that feud.
It's smoke.
So-
Yes, smoke.
So we're gonna have
Hey,
Mike,
hold on,
Ware
I got you ready, bro.
and
I'm
Rob.
about to cook you. I got my spatula and my Crisco. I'm about to cook you, bro.
If you think so,
I'm about to
I
cook
got
you,
like
bro.
5 minutes. What's up?
Okay, no, you go ahead. You said that I compared Sugar Ray Leonard to Tank. At what capacity and when did I do that? Go ahead.
You literally said I made him. I actually made a mistake. The man, the myth, the legend, made a mistake one time about a certain fight. You said that when Sugar Ray Leonard went to 154 and he made the calls, that's in comparison of Tank Davis making calls. With nothing on Tank Davis's level was on Sugar Ray Leonard's level. Back when Sugar Ray Leonard was popular, it wasn't any interracial dating. Every single white woman, Hispanic, Asian woman, when Sugar Ray Leonard did his little, they was all in love with him. Tank ain't on that level. Tank's a woman beater. That's all
Dude,
I'm saying.
that's a good
Damn,
comparison.
damn, yeah, personal with the bosses. Oh, the bosses.
Don't you
Damn.
make
Being real.
Damn, that was crazy. And the woman beater is cat, by the way. But you can go on, continue. But go ahead, go
I ain't
ahead.
got nothing else to say. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm throwing
No.
out. Do
Bro,
not mention it. The only fighter you could even put in mention Sugar Ray Leonard with is you can't even say Floyd Mayweather. Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson,
Bro,
Ali, and Mike about it.
I use that reference I used it as
cannot
bro.
Sugar Ray Leonard comparing any fighter.
I said in terms of negotiating, I can.
No
If they use it,
comparison.
if they using the same formula. If they're using the same formula in terms of negotiating and being the cash cow, I can.
Yeah, I'm not. In reality, I'm not big on comparisons with certain fighters. Like you got a lot of fans out here, like to put Devin and Shakur in the lights of Floyd Mayweather and stuff. But I'm not a fan of that. I don't like to compare these fighters to these other fighters. Even though it'd be fun to do so, but at the same time, in particular with some of these other fighters, I don't believe that these guys should be compared up like that. That's just me personally.
That's all I just use the negotiation tactic.
I mean,
and I saw the thing you said. Even Wilder.
Everybody got their own style and their own thing. Like everybody on their own thing.
No, I just use the negotiation technique.
Yeah, he won 140 now.
Hold on, forget that. Hold on, I come back to that. You also said
Wilder another one. I mean,
you said Wilder
knocked him out. I knew that was gonna happen. But if y'all watch that fight before the Tank fight, he lost about 10 rounds of that fight. And then
that's
the last round made him take a
Stop, bro. He ain't lose no 10 rounds, bro. Stop, bro. I gotta stop you there. That's cat. Bro, he won that fight. You overly exaggerating right there, bro. Like he beat Artem clear, bro. Artem was competitive. He was competitive, but that man, Frank Martin, he done knocked him down in the 11th round and everything. You know what I mean? That boy Artem got on his fight the last 2 rounds.
He still lost that fight.
Yo.
Okay, I'm gonna keep him.
What's he gonna do at 140? What champ is he gonna be?
I mean, you gotta look at what Frank Martin did in the fight. Like, did you watch Frank Martin versus Michelle Rivera?
Yeah, I seen Frank Martin's fights. Who was he gonna
Michelle Rivera was tough. Like a lot of people at 135 wasn't fighting Michelle Rivera. And Earl put Frank in there with Michelle Rivera, and Frank, dismantled him. And Michelle Rivera, he was on pads in that fight. He was on pads that fight.
Okay.
Against Michelle Rivera, he knocked him out. What are you talking about? He knocked Michelle Rivera out.
Let me go look it up. Maybe I'm getting him confused with someone else.
Hey,
I'm gonna throw up a realistic fight.
Yeah, he didn't knock out Artem, but he knocked Artem down in the 11th round of that fight, and then Artem got on his bike the last 2 rounds. I mean,
hold on, Mike. I got one more just to adjust with you.
Fight. Gary Antoine Russell versus Frank Martin.
I like it.
Me too.
I like that fight. That's a solid fight. That's a solid fight right there.
I think Gary Antoine Russell might possibly. He's too big. I think he'll bully him.
I don't know. Gary Antoine Russell's a small fighter at 140. To be honest, like I ain't gonna lie to you. Like he's big, but he's not big to where like Gary need to be at 147. Like for the 140-pound division, he's a smaller guy in that division. Like he can probably squeeze in and probably fight at 135 if he wants to, for real.
Now who will? Oh God, who's the other one? Oh yeah,
I love that fight. Frank Martin versus Gary Antoine Russell.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
I got Gary.
Gary, I think Gary will beat Hitchens. Gary will beat.
Oh, hell yeah.
The
Gary, I like Gary. I'm a big fan of Gary.
This is a logical fight that might happen too. If they're talking about rumors about T.O. going to the PBC, T.O. versus Gary Antoine Russell, who you got in that?
Russell.
Gary.
You got Gary?
I'll take Gary.
Yep.
That would be
T.O. fighting himself, man. He fighting himself right now. Dog. Go ahead, say what you got to say, because you sent me a little article for Wilder, and I want to get into that, but I'm going to let y'all finish that. I'm going to let you finish. Okay, you know what? What you and everybody else in the world failed to mention about that article, y'all do it on purpose. Wilder gave Fury his word that I will give you a rematch, because the first one ended controversial, and if you look at it, it wasn't no rematch clauses in that contract. He gave this man his word, and AJ came and said, "Let's fight." And hold on, no, he did.
$100 million.
Oh no, he offered $100 million, but it don't matter.
Rematch.
It don't matter. He gave Fury his word. Any man that gives you his word and he goes back and honors that, that's big for me, bro. So even if it was $100 million from AJ, he gave Fury his word. How many boxers you know today without a rematch clause in the contract that says, "Hey, I'm gonna do this," and then actually follow up with it? Any man that gives his word, that's big on that, bro. I don't care what nobody say. He gave Fury his word and he honored it. And Fury them knew that the little arbitration thing, they knew, bro. They knew that wasn't going nowhere. That's why he wasn't trying to fight. If you go back and do the timeline, Fury was trying to fight somebody in the UK behind closed doors, and they weren't having it. And how can you fight somebody behind closed doors when you can only have so much people capacity? That was cap. They couldn't go nowhere because of the arbitration was in the way, and they knew that. And you got Dummy Hearn listening to Top Rank. Oh, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. The loser in the contract for the third fight had a right to exercise the fight, which was Wilder, which he did. And Fury tried to weasel his way out of it.
He got to exercise.
No,
and the second fight, he got to watch.
After the second fight.
Okay, catch yourself.
Sorry, after the second fight, the loser had the right to exercise the clause, which Wilder did. And they knew that, and they signed off on it. You had a signed contract. You couldn't get out of that. And they just throwing all this AJ stuff in it. They knew they couldn't get out the way with that, man. They were just making y'all look dumb, and they took y'all for a ride.
Nobody took anybody for a ride.
No, everybody.
They had the first fight, and then when Tyson Fury signed with ESPN, and it was
I remember
BBC,
that.
they knew it was a conflict. Now, during that time, both of them had two fights. He fought Ortiz, and he fought what was his name? That other I can't even remember his name.
Shoot, I know you're talking about right after that. Dude, but no, look, they
had the dread.
Well, before all them two fights happened, they offered Deontay Wilder a $100 million 2-fight deal. And after Deontay Wilder got thrashed and created a Glovegate scandal because he was embarrassed that he got beat down so bad, he came out and he said, "Well, man, I could have fought AJ for $100 million, man, but I fought what was his name? Homeboy Anthony Joshua knocked out. Now it's not logical.
Brazil,
yeah, Dominic Brazil.
Dude, he fought Brazil before that. He fought Brazil.
No,
Brazil wasn't even in the Brazil was not even in the picture for the Fury thing.
About before the second beatdown that he got.
He didn't fight nobody after the second.
He turned down the AJ fight.
Because he gave you
the $100 million two fight thing. Here's the thing.
Because he gave Fury his word though.
Listen to me, bro.
Okay,
People need to get rid of this tribalism and all of this stuff. Oh, I like Deontay Wilder. Oh, it was Glovegate. Oh, Mark Breland slipped a Mickey in my drink, in my water before the fight. And when I went and took a piss test, I was clean. Oh, Tyson Fury went and cut his glove and somehow sold it.
Well, get to the point. I never supported none of that.
What am I getting to? Y'all need to get off this tribalism.
Bro.
Deontay Wilder has never, every single top fighter he has fought, he has lost to. I called this from 2017. He has not beat. His best win was Luis Ortiz, whose best win was Bryant Jennings. Deontay Wilder was staged to look good, and people fell for it. I never did. He turned down the AJ fight to fight Fury because he thought he was going to win because he was overweight and on drugs and got thrashed. I'm tired of
he
crazy.
He turned down the AJ fight. Like I disagree with that.
Yes.
What up, fam?
Dude, where have I been with Wilder since day one? What have I always said about Wilder since day one?
You always felt like you roll with him, but you always say Wilder was limited, but he did great with his ability of what he had.
No, here's Wilder. People get on this Wilder stuff. Wilder's fights, it's like what I say about Rocky Marciano. That people look at him with all them knockouts and all of that, but look who he fought. 38-year-old Joe Louis, old Jersey Joe Walcott. You talk about all these old fighters. It was choreographed, so he looked good. Wilder didn't fight anybody. As soon as he went up in level.
Wilder was, he was who he was. I never put him above it. I never tried to put him above anywhere.
I mean, as long as
I never did that.
I agree with you. Okay, all right, I'll agree
with you. He was who he was.
But I'm okay. If you're on that level, I'm cool. But I get tired of these people over there talking about, oh yeah, Wilder, man, he's better than Mike Tyson. Oh, he's harder than
No, bro.
I'm trying to get it.
I never said that. I was always on the level with Wilder. Where he was, he never had a jab to box with unless he was shorter than him. Go look at the Areola and go look at the Dubois fight. That's who he was able to jab. But when he was looking somebody in the face, like even Gerald Washington, who was eye to eye with him, he never had the jab. He always had the equalizer. That's what made him interesting. I never tried to put Wilder.
You know what? You know what I told everybody about the equalizer? When he gets in there with he was fighting B and C level fighters. When you get in there with an A level fighter, and when you catch him with all you have with that hot hand, he's like, "Ha ha, motherfucker! I'm coming back for more."
Dude, I was up front with that. Now people look at Dillian Whyte and they be like, "Oh, he on Tyson's level. He a Holyfield." No, people do that with Dillian Whyte.
Whyte isn't on their level.
Okay, I'm saying.
I think Wilder. I'm not happy with the WBC right now. I mean,
nobody is.
Got stripped. They let Wilder duck the.
No, Bivol vacated, by the way. He didn't get stripped. Bivol vacated.
Bivol didn't vacate.
Yes, he did. Yes, no,
he vacated.
He vacated
because he vacated to go back with the trilogy for Beterbiev.
For the Beterbiev. Yeah,
he vacated.
That one, yes. I mean, who's a better fight? Who's a better competition? Beterbiev or David Benavidez?
But that's subjective.
That's subjective because we don't know.
It's subjective for sure.
We don't know.
David Benavidez.
Yeah, I would say so. You gotta give him a chance.
That's a scrap that even Bivol fans want that fight more than Beterbiev. A lot of Bivol fans don't even want Bivol to fight Beterbiev because they believe Bivol beat Beterbiev the first two fights.
A lot of fights I say don't need to happen. He won one. They have to do the rubber match.
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing with you.
I agree with you.
They have to run it back. They have to run that one back.
But you got to give him a chance to see that, though. If unless you fight him, you got to give him a chance. You got to give Benavidez a chance.
Yep.
My whole thing with that, I'll say this pertaining to that, though.
Absolutely correct. You got to give him a chance.
Yeah, I say this pertaining to that. Bivol should have never got into negotiations. They should have never got it. Bivol and them should have never got it when the WBC ordered that fight with Bivol and David Benavidez. If they wasn't going to fight David Benavidez, they had no intentions of fighting him. And Beterbiev was the whole deal the whole time. They should have never went into negotiations with David Benavidez at all. And they did. And they ended up saying, forget that. Turkey, you remember Turkey? He had that tweet telling Bivol, "Oh, you better think wisely on what you're doing. You know who to work with." And look what he did. He went over there for the Turkey. He went with Turkey with Beterbiev for the trilogy.
Yeah. He beat Bowder's knee.
But I agree that the third fight should happen between those two guys.
Here's my thing about the WBC. You got. I'm straight by the hook. Okay, you let Jamel. I'm not Jamel. Jamal Charlo was out for 2 years.
Hey, Mike,
Hey, Mike.
Choppy.
Yeah, you choppy,
bro.
Your mic or something.
Can you hear me? No.
Yeah, it's.
Can you hear me?
You choppy still.
Did you didn't do anything different, did you, Mike?
He was good for a while. He just after a while he got choppy. That's kind of like the first time.
Bro, all these belts do that though, man. It ain't just like the WBC.
Yeah.
IBF just started ordering some fights right after the WBC put Pacquiao and say, "Oh, now you got to fight him. Now you got to fight." Dude, they are gonna continue to do that, man. They do what they want when they want.
You see what the IBF did with Usyk, man. He played undisputed, and then they stripped him right away, right? Like after that, and gave the title to Dave Dubois. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It was crazy, bro. Like
they did that with Canelo, man. Just to put him in there with Skull, like, man, come on, bro. You know you circling the rounds, bro. You know he's gonna come back to that fight, man.
Okay, Mike Ware said he got bad Wi-Fi, so
okay,
have to get on next time. And shout out again, Universal Basic Income. So y'all, I got a couple more topics, y'all. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dog, what kind of shot was that, bro?
So what
That's
about
cash.
I don't know if I asked you, Rob, because it's been a minute, I think, since you've been
Okay.
on. What do you feel about, speaking of Dillian Whyte, Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte.
Dog, they
He
set that
loves some
boy up.
Moses.
Bro, they set that boy up for a funeral. I'm talking about Dillian Whyte, man. He gonna clean that boy clock, bro. He gonna clean that
Thanks,
boy clock.
bro.
He tried to get to. I'll just say he tried to close out big, man. But dog, come on, man. He gonna clean that boy clocks, man. He gonna clean
Yeah,
that boy
bro.
clocks.
I like Moses, man. I got Moses in that, man. I think this is a good little step up to make Moses look good, and you know what I'm saying, and he'll move
Yeah,
on and try to get some of these next level heavyweight fights, man. That's what we're looking for Moses, man. We're looking for more, challenging fights for him, and he's in position, especially with that, number one ranking for the WBO now and for the heavyweight division. So we definitely need to see more from Moses, man. And this is the first step with Dillian White. This is a good little test for him.
yeah,
And he's main
yeah.
eventing on this card too, because the fight is August 16th in Saudi Arabia, and he's main eventing on this card. So
Okay.
good little look for him on that as well.
And hopefully they get him some rounds. Dillian Whyte,
Yeah.
he's good unless you land that uppercut. He could take a jab, he could take a hook, but something about them uppercuts.
Bro, that's how Fury caught him. That's how AJ caught him. That's how Fury came right around and came underneath.
Caught him. Yeah.
Yeah, dog. For Becky to catch him, he caught that fool, bro.
That was so clean. Oh,
I mean, man, he came straight underneath doing this. And you can tell, dude, in the rematch of that fight, man, that Pavecki didn't even look right. Like, he looked so drained and out of shape. Like, if he had COVID, he really had it, bro.
Yeah, he really had
it.
Yeah.
But he honored the contract and he came back and he made no excuses, but he leveled that fool in the first fight.
For real.
Yeah, man.
For real, bro. I like this for Moses, bro. I like Moses, man. That got some other heavyweights that's trying to come up, and he's the main one out of the prospects is coming up. Even though he's not a prospect now, he's a contender now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's in contender status. So we want to see you fight the other contenders, man, and then we want to see you fight the champions. That's what we want to see from Moses now, man. Frank Warren, don't hold that boy hand, man. Let that boy get that money, man. Let that boy get that money, man. Frank Warren, I see Frank Warren here. He up here trying to, be a little shaky with certain fights with Moses. Nah, let that boy work, man. Let him get to the bag.
Hey, man, he just trying to hold him up, man. Like, they got spiders in there, man. I think they're going to turn him loose when they feel like, okay, we kind of near cash out a little bit, or he ready to go. They do him all like that, man.
That one dude that you hit me too, Terramona.
Terramona. Yeah.
He creeping up. So he keep getting these knockouts.
Yeah, that's one of Eddie Hearn guys, man.
Yeah.
This is what they should do, Bane. This is what Eddie Hearn should do. Put him in there with David Allen. Put Terramona with David Allen.
That'd be a good one. Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Put him in there. See who you really gonna use. Up and coming for your staple in that heavyweight division. That's what it's supposed. If you have an in-house fights and you got fighters in multiple divisions and stuff, you gotta have those guys put it on and put the leather on, man. Eventually, you gotta see what you got. You gotta see who's gonna be the guy I'm gonna put my money behind and invest in. And I think that's a good scrap right there between Terramona and David Allen. David Allen screaming out Wilder. Wilder don't need to be fighting no David Allen, bro.
No,
he don't need to be fighting him. No, I don't even want to see Wilder do that, because if David Allen do Wilder greasy, then I'm gonna be really sorry.
Yeah, no, he bro.
I don't think he would beat Wilder, but I don't know, bro. With Wilder, we don't know. But I'm just saying in general, Terramona, he on the rise right now, man. In that heavyweight division, that's a guy to look out for. You know what I'm saying? From Australia right there. That boy put the pain on that kid Whitfield last week. I know, Whitfield was green, but the knockout was crazy, man. It was crazy. He one of those happy big guys. You know what I'm saying? Like the Big Show was real happy and jolly, but when he get in that ring, he in there trying to inflict pain, man. He mean intentions in that ring, man. I like this guy, Terramona, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
And you remind me of when you said that, bro. He was Mr. T and Part 3 of Rocky. He was like, what's my prediction? Prediction? Pain. That's what you remind me of when you said that, bro. That's what you all about.
Hey, that's what hey, in boxing, bro. I be wanting to see pain out there. I want to see blood on the canvas out there. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't be want to see these pity pat parties out there, man. I want to see some pain out there. I want to see black eye out there. I want to see some pain out there. I want to see leather on leather. That's what I want to
listen,
see.
man.
Okay,
Dude,
I got a
go ahead.
hypothetical question for y'all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hypothetical question. So when I seen that interview with Frank Martin, he was saying he felt like Keyshawn Davis, the type of opposition he had was tailor made for his style. You know what I'm saying? So that being said, he said he would smash Keyshawn. What do y'all feel if that fight happened with Keyshawn
Man,
versus Frank Martin?
if it happens, it's gonna happen. First of all, it's gonna happen at 140.
Yeah, what would y'all
Keyshawn is more
think?
comfortable. He's more comfortable up there. I think he'll beat Frank Martin, man.
You do?
He's more
Okay.
comfortable up there. Yeah. Martin is a cool dude. He all right, but he ain't that guy yet, man. Quite frankly, I think he's name dropping. But if it's gonna happen, it's gonna have to happen at 140. Keyshawn not coming back down, especially after that little skirmish he had with that. Nah. And I don't see Frank Martin. If Frank Martin is gonna fight, he got to go up and do at least one fight to get himself acclimated there. Keyshawn been there. You know what I'm saying? Given the fact he had to
Well,
train all
Keyshawn
the
ain't fought at he ain't fought at 140 yet because he missed weight on the scale at 135.
No.
Got stripped of his title and everything.
No,
But
I'm
you
talking
know
about
he about yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm talking about as far as cutting weight to get there.
Oh yeah.
It's easier for him to get to 140 than it was to 135. So that's what
I got something to say. I got something to say on that too, because I was listening in on my guy Ant McQueen, man, from Casual's Corner with my boy Thomas Hill, man, and the fellas over there, and he was speaking about Keyshawn, like far as like when you seen him on that scale when he weighed at 139, that looked like the natural weight he need to be at fighting at 140. Like he looked real lean at that 140. So the 140 situation looks like the real clear situation for him. Like, you know what I'm saying, fighting at 140 for sure. But I still say it was BS how he moved with that because that was your first title defense, man. You could at least made that weight, man, defending that title and then move up to 140, and then you could have been able to contend easily for Tio's title at 140. You know what I'm saying? After that, I mean that's a real businessman. What you did, Keyshawn, was not businessman like. That was the bad businessman. You know what I mean? But in particular, for us to fight in general with Keyshawn and Frank Morton, I love the fight. They got to build up from it. You know what I'm saying? From being at 135, where that man Keyshawn and Frank was in the same room, and Frank went over there to press Keyshawn about Keyshawn speaking about his name in the media and everything. So they got a whole storyline, and Keyshawn had mentioned and Frank's name in multiple interviews talking about Frank was trash and stuff like that. And then now you got Frank saying it vice versa. You know what I mean? They got a storyline, so it'll be a great fight to make. You know what I'm saying? And PBC and Top Rank, they're working together with a lot of fights as well. So I can see a situation where Frank probably get him a little tune-up fight in at 140. The fight that I'm hearing that he got is like a good little starter fight for him at 140. And Keyshawn, you know what I'm saying? Keyshawn needs to come back outside and stop hiding, apologize to the public for what you did a couple weeks ago. First, let's start there. Apologize to the public for what you did a couple weeks ago because it's real to 140. Get you a little starter fight at 140, you know what I mean? And then get booming with some of those top names that we want to see. I mean, like that's how it should be for real between those guys. Fight a starter fight first, and then hopefully they can try to make some shake with that fight. Frank pushed for that fight. I think Frank needs to, continue to be in these interviews and pushing for, a Keyshawn Davis fight. And hopefully Keyshawn can get out there and apologize to the public about what happened and, get back active himself too, man. Because I think Keyshawn, he does bring a good element to the sport far as, his demeanor and, far as, him popping this ish out there. You know what I mean? Like, it's good for the sport when we got another guy out there popping this ish and, doing this thing and performing well in fights and stuff. You know what I mean? Even though I can say I agree with Frank Martin as far as the competition with Keyshawn. Some of the competition, green, like Barichek, very green. Very green. Like, I was talking about him on the show earlier. Like, yeah, he beat Navarrete, but Navarrete, he ain't all that crazy for real. You know what I mean? He a champion at 130, but his style would not beat guys at 135. And he could beat Barichek when he moved up to 135 for his first time. And Barichek is not good at all. He is not like the other Ukrainian fighters like a Usyk or Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? He ain't like one of those guys at all. You know what I mean? Like, those guys are stars. He's not that. You know what I mean? And this in particular, like Keyshawn resume, little green for sure, because we know Top Rank, they got some of the best matchmaking in the game, man. But Frank Martin's been in tough fights. He's been in there with Tank. He's been in there with Michelle Rivera, which is a good opponent out there. I think he's fighting at 140 now too, I believe. And been in there with Artem, which is Artem shared the ring with Shakur Stevenson as well, and he was an Olympian. You know what I mean? So he's been in the ring with some decent competition. I can say for sure, Frank Martin wise, I think it'd be a great fight if they make that fight. I like them two fighting for sure.
For sure, man. And the last thing I'll say about that subject before I move to the next is that what Frank Martin was stood out in that interview is speaking of Tank. The fact that Tank knocked him out. He was saying how a lot of fighters don't come back the same after being knocked out. And he was saying that he feel like he's going to come back more determined. Regardless of being knocked out, he going to come back wherever he fight next. He want to show people he still got it.
Hey, dude, and that's the tell-all. Like, when you get knocked out and you come back to become champion, that legitimizes the knockouts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see people get knocked out and come back and become champion. Even when what's that dude name, man? Floyd Mayweather whipped him so bad, but he became champion. Churro Gotti came back and became champion, man. So, like, that's the tell-all if that fight is actually a legit thing. I think he can come back. Not against Keyshawn Davis right now. Not if he stay at 135 a little, good shot. If he stay at 135 a little bit, I think he can come back, man.
Yeah, he said he learned a lot from the Lamont Roach fight. He said he kind of looked at some things from Lamont Roach or whatever. That's what he said, but I feel like Tank's gonna be totally different in the rematch.
Yeah, for sure.
Tank gonna get that.
I'm saying that, 7 rounds. The
highlight reel.
I'm saying 7 rounds. I'm counting 7.
Yeah,
7 to 8.
Yeah, 7, 8. Yeah. That
7
sounds
8.
just about right.
Bro, for both of y'all, I read, where is it, man? That Boxer, and I know you want to go to your next segment, but real quick, if Boxer doesn't have a TV deal, the dude over in the UK.
Oh, the box. I'm not sure. Okay. I don't know what they got going over there too much for real.
Okay. No, they say he
they don't do too much. I mean, like, we don't see much action from them over there. You know what I'm saying? Right now with the UK, the people that's running the UK obviously is Queensberry and Matchroom. You know what I mean? And,
right.
They both on the zone. So one thing I can say as far as that, them boys better get with it with them guys.
Right. Are you going, Eugene?
Okay, man. Boots Ennis. So he moving up to 154. So who's a couple of names y'all think that might be? Should he go? Should he go? I seen Pro Box TV said they feel like he should go straight for whoever the man is at 154, or should he just kind of slow walk himself up into that division?
Go ahead. I'll tell you something.
I think he should slow walk it. As far as the big money fights, Charlo's still a mainstay up there. It's a couple guys up there, man, but it's just not defined up there, bro. That's the whole thing. Like, he's the only one that's going up there with a name. It's a whole bunch of guys up there, man. But he should be able to get some tune-up fights before he actually go back in there, man. I think he should be able to get a title shot real quick and real soon. You know what I'm saying? Depends on where it takes place and how they negotiate it. But it's just not defined. It's just not. I think he can define it. But I'm gonna say get a couple fights in first before you try to go for the big dogs.
Yeah, I can tell you a little information I got on the Boots situation. If so,
Okay.
at first, me and a couple of my guys, we was talking about the fight with Boots possibly fighting Eunice Telez that has the interim title, the WBA at 154. Of course, Bud Crawford, he's still champion for us, the WBA, but of course, they're going to probably most likely strip him when it comes to fighting Canelo, around that time. So he won't have that title so long per se. I don't even know why he's still playing around with. He just go ahead and just let that title go, bro. Like
Right,
I
right,
don't
right.
know, but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, that situation right there. First, obviously, we was talking about that fight with Boots fighting Eunice Telez, but then the WBA announced Eunice Telez fighting someone else yesterday. So we like, okay, that fight off the table. So then, who's next? I heard Eddie Hearn. They said they was, talking about trying to reach out to Virgil about fighting, but then the WBC was about to order Virgil to fight Boychuk again in a rematch. But then Virgil, he had surgery on. I don't want to be specific on what it is, but I know he had an injury or something where he had to get surgery for, so he's gonna be out for a little bit. So that fight is off the table right now for Boots as far as Virgil Ortiz. So right now, I'm hearing right now that they looking at Boychuk. Now they looking at Boychuk possibly. So we may get Boots versus Boychuk possibly. That'd be a good scrap. Now, of course, Boots, he was the IBF champion at 147. A lot of people was thinking, will Boots go straight at Bachram that has that IBF 154-pound title? But the mandatory right now for that title is Erickson Lubin. Erickson Lubin, he just had a fight about a month ago where on Pro Box TV
Pro
where he was
box,
in the
yeah.
yeah, he was on the IBF title eliminator for that fight, and he won. So he has that number one spot for Bachram's title. But I was hearing smoke a little bit with Bachram fighting somebody else possibly earlier, other than Erickson Lubin. So we don't know about Boots with Bachram right now in that particular because of Erickson Lubin and then the possibility of Bachram signing up to fight somebody else. I'll figure the name out in a little while once I get a chance. But yeah, so Boots right there. Most likely, I'm hearing Boychuk is probably the possible, first victim at 154, which is a good fight. I like Boychuk. Boychuk, he follow me on Twitter. He's a cool cat if y'all get to know Boychuk, man. You know what I'm saying? Good fighter, man. Had a great fight with Virgil Ortiz in that fight, man. So I was kind of interested in seeing a rematch if they would have fought for real. I know he just come off a fighting Michael Fox, and Boychuk won the little controversial fight. Some people thought Fox won the fight, but I thought Boychuk won the fight. Me personally, because Fox, he was in there. He wasn't the aggressor in the fight. He was kind of being around the ring, and I'm trying to tell people in boxing, man, it's coming more and more to where these guys is not going to give the guys that's not engaging in the fight the dub. They're not going to do that. So that was the case for us that fight with Boychuk and Fox. But I like Boots at 154. I've been a guy that been on record saying that I want Boots to move up to 154 because there's a lot of more, bigger fights for him up there, especially money wise up there. And I think 147 was no reason for him to continue to stay down there and bring yourself down there. You know what I mean? He said I looked at Boots in an interview with YSL Media where he said that he was fighting 30, he was 30, 40% in these last couple of fights, fighting at 147. You know what I mean? So he thinks that he'll be at 100% fighting at 154. And I feel like, I kind of believe Boots in that sense. That's just me just looking at the fights, even though he did Staniona's greasy, you know what I mean? The
Mhm.
fight with Karen and then the fight that he had with David Avenesian, those two fights was the fights where fans, thought he had a little, shrink in his armor a little bit, you know what I mean? And no, he's saying that, he was 30, 40% in these last couple of fights. So I take Boots' word on it, and I feel like he'll be more of a, complete guy at 154 and really get to pull out the tool bag in
Right,
some of
right.
these bigger fights at 154, in my opinion.
Good, good,
All
good.
right.
Good assessment. Yeah, I feel like 154 is gonna definitely be that sweet spot, and I keep seeing him doubling down, saying that we ain't seen the best of Boots. That at 154 he gonna really shine. So that's his words. I believe him because so far, he showed us that when he was at 147. So Boots is something
Facts,
special. I feel like he's something special. You
facts,
know.
bro. I'm a big fan of Boots, man, and I feel like now. I don't like him with Eddie Hearn personally. That's just me. That's just me. I don't like him being with Eddie Hearn, but I am, in realization of like Eddie Hearn has built Boots a little bit better than he did with guys like Shakur Stevenson, like because he's actually making Boots be main event in his hometown and building his
Mm-hmm.
name and building his brand. And Boots has a slew of fighters under his Boots Promotions brand and everything. So he's doing some good things, man. And I think Eddie Hearn, I don't. If I was Boots, I wouldn't trust Eddie Hearn so much, man, because I had a real bad taste in my mouth on how Eddie Hearn handled the situation with Virgil Ortiz in the recent months, where a lot of people they was trying to get Boots to fight Virgil at 154, and Boots wasn't ready because he was still trying to unify 147. And the only person that stood up on him, because he had a lot of talk saying that Boots dug Virgil Ortiz at that time, and no, the only person that stood up for Boots was Steven Espinosa from PBC.
Mm-hmm.
And Eddie Hearn said nothing. He didn't defend Boots during that time about these people saying that Boots was ducking Virgil Ortiz. He didn't defend him not one time. No, Steven Espinosa was the only one to defend him, man. And I
Ain't
was
that
like,
something?
that really stung home to me. Where I'm like, Boots, bro, you know where to go, bro. PBC will make you an even bigger star if you go over there. You will be a pay-per-view star over there. And a lot of those big fights at 154, bingo, there's a lot of them over there at PBC. It ain't many over there with Matchroom.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you make a good point, man. Um, so the last subject, something I talked about a little bit earlier, of course, Bud versus Canelo. We know it's official. Allegiant out there in Vegas on the West Coast. Um, Now Mike Ware said he doesn't see at any capacity that Bud Crawford can beat Canelo. What do you think,
Hmm.
Rob?
Like I've always said, dude, Canelo's fighting style hasn't changed since he lost to Floyd, since he lost to Bivol. You gotta get Canelo's respect up front. And when I say that, establish your jab, make him reset, make him think about what you're gonna do. This is what Floyd did. This is what Bivol did. Bivol mixed up his attack because he was a lot bigger than Floyd, so he came straight
Right.
at Canelo.
Right.
Floyd, now Floyd did walk him down, but Floyd's still right in front of me, man. It was making him miss, giving him different looks, throwing his jab out there, leaving that leading left hook. And Canelo was confusing all of that, doing it. So, and even when Canelo fought, what's that dude named Kovalev? I just watched that fight. Kovalev was just scared the whole fight. He wasn't even trying to jab, and he was just trying to cover up. You can't do that with him, dude. But I'm going Bud again because Bud is cerebral. He gonna make Canelo reset because Canelo does not have a jab to box with. He has these laws in between rounds. He don't. I mean, I don't expect him to fight the full 3 minutes, but he has to be set to get that kind of power on the uppercut, to get that kind of power on the right hand, and you won't be able to counter Bud like you've been able to counter all of the other people. In fact, I'm even
Hmm.
gonna say this: I think Bud gonna come out fighting southpaw just to confuse him. He gonna make him reset, make him rethink, and make him come back. And Bud gonna be attacking him and getting him on points. Now, I think Bud is really gonna have to sell his shots and give because it's in Vegas. That's Canelo's hometown.
That's true.
He
That's
gonna
true.
he
Hmm.
he gonna he
Um,
gonna have to sell everything he does. He ain't gotta wobble Canelo. He ain't gotta make his face all bloody, but he gonna have to sell his shots. But like, if Canelo landed these big thunderous shots or whatever, they might just favor him with that. I see Bud winning on the cards, and the only way I see him getting knocked out is Canelo catch him with something. He not gonna be there to be stand. He not gonna stand in front of Canelo while Canelo land tee off on him like he did with Saunders, like he did with Berlanga and Jaime Munguia. No, he's too smart
right.
for that.
Yeah, he
And
ain't
the
gonna
only
get no
thing I
firefights like Triple G. He's gonna
No,
be
he not
in
gonna do that.
spurts, like
Right, you know what I'm saying? And he gonna take advantage because he don't fight because he know when he rehydrates for this fight, he's gonna be closer to cruiserweight. That's why he's been heavy like that. And my only concern for Bud is the stamina. Going up to 168 and one jump like that instead of taking the tune-up fight and working his way up there. Okay, he's there now. So let's see what he got. He looks very comfortable, but I'm pretty sure his camp is doing stuff inspiring. You know what I'm saying, to make him work with that. He looks okay. He looked okay when they did the face off. I got Bud on points though, but he gonna have to sell it, and especially in Vegas, bro. He gonna have to sell it.
Did y'all see the press conference today?
Yeah, no, I ain't see this. I ain't see the one today.
Seen it. Yeah, I seen it.
You seen the clip? So earlier, Canelo, they was facing him off,
And he shoved him.
and the man Bud goes straight at Canelo, gets right in his face, like this close into his face, and then Canelo end up pushing him, and then they breaking up, Dana White in the middle with the security guards in the middle between both camps and everything. Me personally, I ain't gonna lie, I felt it was a little WWE-ish. That's my opinion. I know people may look at it different, and they be like, "Oh, Cam, you hating?" I ain't hating. I'm just saying that look at WWE-ish to me. I wasn't convinced. Only reason being because I'm looking at pictures like Canelo versus Bud over there with Turkey Al-Sheikh sitting there at dinner. Why y'all I'm sitting there with each other at dinner, man?
Yeah, I saw that picture.
I mean, honestly, it ain't nothing much to think about, but I mean, we got to read the room a little bit in certain situations like this. They supposed to be at war. They supposed to be ready to kill each other. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be sitting with my op at the dinner table and stuff. I gotta think about this man, training for this man. I gotta see this man in a fight September 13th where you're gonna be trying to take my head off. Like, no, we gonna promote the fight. Yeah, you gotta promote the fight in that manner, though.
Right, dude. Like, pass the ketchup, man. I got no.
And the food on the table look horrible. That man, Turkey had that man Bud Crawford eating some dry spaghetti with bread. Like, I'm like, bro, what y'all doing over there, man?
Nah, bro. I agree, man. It was okay. So you know what? I saw the push. I thought that was yesterday's clip. It's WWE, man. These guys ain't really, dude. Because first of all, Bud ain't like that. I think the only real hate he kind of had was towards PBC when they was doing their thing. But like towards Canelo, no, bro. This is just a jump up. It's a hype up, man. I don't even buy it. Because even when I watched one of the press conferences, he was like, they said, "Bud, how you think he gonna win? I'm gonna knock him out." And Bud was like, "Yeah, we gonna see." I'm like, bro, when Vargas and Oscar De La Hoya was doing it, they was at war with it. They really hated each other. These two don't have no reason to hate each other, bro. They haven't seen each other, so it's all WWE to me, man.
Hey, man, and speaking of what Cam J was saying, the dinner table, you know what was on Bud's mind. I want some oxtails.
Yeah,
Where's the hot sauce?
I need some chicken over here.
Yeah, some chicken,
Like,
some
bro,
oxtails, some jerk seasoning,
What y'all doing?
I'm like, this crazy. Like, but I mean, in general, man, with the fight in general, it's okay.
I don't want no raisins in my potato salad.
So Allegiant Stadium is the venue, but I mean, right now, if you look on the website, it still say UNLV and Idaho State. Now, I mean, don't get it real twisted. They got the fight going on Allegiant. I don't care. Put the fight on. Even though in the beginning, I'm the guy that is on record saying that I don't care for this fight. I don't like this fight. But I want Bud Crawford to beat Canelo in this fight. I want the cherry picking Canelo to pay for all of this cherry picking he's been doing over the past 2-3 years, man.
Mm-hmm.
That man, I wanted to be a cherry pick gone wrong. I want Bud Crawford in there to put pain on him. But
yes, sir.
like my man Lee Corso says, not so fast. Not so fast. Going up 3 weight classes, and this would kind of bother me with Bud Crawford because I heard him say that he's weighing 155 pounds currently. I'm like, bro, ain't no way. Why you over there lying right now, bud? Why you like you ain't wearing no 155, dude? Why you capping? Come on, see, this is the stuff that I don't like. This is why I don't be liking Bud right here. This type of stuff, like just lying blatantly like that, bro. When you got a guy like Bomac was in the interview a few weeks ago saying that Bud was, at a close like 180 something like that, and then he was trimming down, trying to be good at the 168. So I don't know what to believe from these guys. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying the weight is going to be a big significant factor. And I spoke about it earlier on my show where I was like, you know, I think Bud has more willpower, but you got to look at what happened with Jamel Charlo moving up two weight classes to fight Canelo. Like Jamel Charlo, he was a guy that was sweeping out the 154 division. Like he swept that division, and he was putting body bags on them boys down there at 154. And now, like, he fought, Canelo, lost, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really put so much of a fight because he couldn't handle that power and that pressure from Canelo. I'm wondering if the thing is going to be the same situation with Bud because Bud, he only fought at 154 once when we seen Jamel fight after fight at 154. You know what I'm saying? So me personally, I think, Bud is just as talented as Jamel Charlo for sure, probably even more talented in my opinion. But the weight is just the issue. The weight is a big issue.
But I'll say this last thing because I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. But I feel like
Yeah,
we done seen the peak and the best version of Canelo in his prime,
right.
and I don't believe that what he could do in his prime, he's gonna do right now, years after the fact. But I feel like
Right.
Bud is that guy at this day and time. So I think that edge could be enough to get him over.
For sure. I
Like in the
mean, and
terms
then
of Robert,
Bud
he's
being
cerebral, he's smart mentally.
yeah, Bud is a
Bud is
killer, bro. And then
yeah.
being at 168, like you know what I'm saying? It's just yeah, I think Bud can do it. I think he can do it, man. That's why I'm not really giving no real definite prediction on this fight, man, because I think it's just one of those fights that I just got like a weird feeling. Something crazy or weird is gonna happen amongst this fight for some reason. I don't know why, but when I get these feelings about certain fights, I gotta go with my instinct on it. And I just don't know who gonna win this fight because I really think Bud has a real good chance in winning. You look at Canelo over the last couple of years; he's been regressing. He's been regressing,
Yeah,
man.
big time.
So
Big time.
like that's my thing for as that fight, man. I think Bud definitely has a big chance to win for sure, bro.
Bro, you better believe Buzz punch output and it's gonna be very calculated. Very again, because you swing and you miss at 168, that's gonna take a lot out of you, bro.
Right. True
Mm-hmm.
that. True that.
Facts.
Um,
Facts.
Canelo can swing and miss and be like, okay, he know how to get that second win. Bud might not be able to do that.
I got something real quick on that though. With something that stuck with me earlier that Bud said in the press conference, he said that he's gonna hunt Canelo down, and he was talking about the fans. This is some of the fans was in the crowd booing him and stuff. He said, "Y'all fans out there booing me, y'all gonna be crying at the end of the night on September 13th." Like Bud is very confident. Like just
yeah.
looking at his demeanor and
He's
how he's
locked in.
moving,
Yeah, he locked in for
he's very
sure.
confident that he
Yeah.
can beat Canelo. Like this ain't it ain't no scare bone in his body on this fight with Canelo, man. And that's even more reason why I said, bro, I'm not giving no definite prediction on this fight for real, 100% because I believe Bud can win this fight.
Hey,
Hmm.
if he say you gonna walk him down, hey, Floyd stood in the pocket right here.
I want to see it.
I want to see that.
And another a funny part too, because Canelo said he said Turkey, make sure you make the ring smaller because Canelo believes that Bud is easy money and he believes that Bud is gonna run around that ring eventually.
Nah, no. If Canelo can't get set and he start missing his shots, he gonna get frustrated.
Yep. Because
He gonna get
Right.
frustrated.
Caleb Plant had him a little frustrated early in the
Yeah,
fight.
right. He was hitting him and tying him up and breaking his rhythm. But I don't think that's gonna be Bud's game plan. I think he's just gonna, make him miss or whatever. But like I said, if Canelo, the only way Canelo's gonna knock him out is if he got to catch him clean. And Bud is
Right.
not gonna get caught clean like that, man, unless he just get caught slipping. And I
Right.
can't see
Exactly.
Bud getting caught slipping like that, man. He's just too smart for that.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah, he knows the danger
Yeah.
of that for
Yeah.
sure. Well, I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up, my brothers. And right before I let you go, Rob, JC said, "Who you got? The Pacers."
Uh, hey, I got OKC, man, because T. Haley it looked like he just tore his Achilles.
I missed that part. I'm watching the game too, man.
Yeah,
I got the Thunder at home, man. It's a good one right now, though. It's a good one,
yeah,
though.
man. Yeah, he went down in the first quarter. Like he went to go cross over, and he grabbed at his calf. I hope he didn't tear his ACL though. He in the locker room
I
right
hope
now.
he did, man, because God take the air out the team right there for if that's possible.
Yeah, it's close right now though.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I appreciate y'all time as always, man. Much love, much respect.
No problem, man.
Make
Yes,
sure,
for sure, man.
Bro.
Yeah, y'all check out Cam J Networks.
Yeah, let me tell we live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on KMJ Network YouTube channel. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? I just did a show earlier at 3 p.m. earlier today. Y'all can go back and watch that back, man. The Sorry But Not Sorry Boxing Talk Roundtable episode 5. That show was amazing, man. We cooked up on a lot of topics, definitely updated a lot of stuff on the recent stuff going on this week in boxing and recap the fights from last night as well. I mean, so make sure y'all definitely tap into the channel, man. We live every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And, make sure y'all get your notification bells and pay attention to the community posts on my channel because I do go live randomly during the week too at times. I mean, I always have some stuff where I'll be like, I want to go cook up, so I end up going live. So y'all just follow me on all of my social platforms as far as Candidate Network and sub up the Candidate Network on the YouTube channel, man, because we doing some great work. Cuz Bean be over there cooking up with me on the round table over there, man. So we be doing some good work over there, bro. So definitely tap in with us, man. Every Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, man. We live and direct and we cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Yo, man, follow these two brothers right here, man. They know what they're talking about. They got some good inside information, man. They knowledgeable in what they doing, man. And it be live when they say we got information. They go talk to these people. So when they say I talked to this person, I got sources. These guys right here, man. My boy Gene, my boy Cam. They actually and Brunch Boxing, man. They actually got communication with hitting the ground. So pay attention to these guys on the underground, man, who got actual factuals, man. Don't stay off these little other networks that's mixing up stuff, man. Roll with these brothers right here, bro. The underground.
Yeah, man. And one thing about me,
brother.
if I can't know it to be a fact, I won't even speak on it. That's my motto.
Right.
I'm gonna pass the mic to the left or whatever. Like, hey, I'm gonna sit this one out for a hot second.
Right. Right. Even with myself, like I don't know it, I won't speak on it, but majority, like I will find out something. If it's something that somebody asks, like, Cam, can you find this out? I'll ask around to a couple of my guys and see what I can find out on certain stuff. But I can say right now, everybody need to tap into the channel because I'm getting more dangerous on the source stuff side as far as information right now. You know what I mean? So I'm getting a lot of inside information on a lot of stuff. So and a lot of the stuff that my guys were bringing to me, a lot of this shit be popping up true. So yeah, I'm not gonna put anything content wise out on my platform that ain't true at all. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not on my platform speaking for 2-3 hours about stuff that's all lies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Is if everything is validated over there when we speak, you know what I'm saying? And even when we come on here with my brother Bean and JC on Ringwalk Boxing Podcast, man, everything is factual over here. We ain't doing no capping over here. We talking real boxing and giving good dialogue to the fans out there. And we're gonna continue to do this thing. And I need to just continue to follow us on the journey and share the content. That's the thing. Share Ringwalk Boxing content, man.
Yeah, please share.
Make sure y'all hit the like button and stuff, and push us in the algorithm because it's big. It's really big. We need to get our content out to much people as possible and get these newer viewers to watch what we're doing because we cooking up and we putting out some great content on the boxing side out here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
All right, my guys, man. Have a good one. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be
Salute,
safe.
brother.
You
You
too,
already
bro.
know.
Yep,
All
yep.
Salute.
right. All right, y'all. So we about to wrap this one up. We had a good segment. We just about ran it almost to 3 hours tonight. Um, big shout outs to my guy Rob in Vegas. Cam J right here in the 513. Big shout outs to him. Everybody who came in the chat. Cuz down south. My dude Zone 15. Yisrael. Big shout outs to you, man. Thanks for coming through and showing your support for sure. And it's very, very pivotal and important. I can't stress it enough. If you follow my Facebook, you get a notification that I'm live. I very much appreciate every like. I do. But it's not going to help me monetize or give me credit for what I'm doing here on the stage on YouTube. So if you see my notification on Facebook, just please move over to YouTube so I can get my viewing hours up and I can get the thumbs up over here on YouTube. And also in the description area and on my link tree, I got the merch out there, uh, all variation of different assortment of hats, hoodies, shirts, water bottles, all kind of stuff, all kind of things, whatever you like. So that's what's up, y'all. I appreciate you all. You be safe, and I'll catch y'all next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the United States. And I'll catch you on the next round. Peace.